35-6 victory over the Philadelphia Tornadoes. All those 35 points came in the first half, and your defense held the Tornadoes scoreless until that last play of the game. But that's a pretty impressive victory over a team that, actually, if you go back and look at last week, they fell to Knoxville County in overtime. Talk to us about your thoughts on that game and how all around your team has looked these first few weeks of the season.
I was very proud of us last couple weeks ago when we played last. Everything was crisp, everything was sharp. I thought we were sound in every aspect of the game. And with it being homecoming, that's always a scary thing. Wondering where the mindset is of the kids. Very proud of the way that we performed and took care of business.
Coach, I want to go back to that first drive of the game. Offense gets to the 6-yard line, but a few penalties push the Knights back outside the red zone. The Knights wouldn't be stopped, though. Cameron Vaughn scored on a reverse from 21 yards out. Talk to us about the grit or maybe even resiliency of your team to not give up on that particular drive.
That's one of the things we talk about all the time, not necessarily the resiliency of it, but just the fact of trying not to put ourselves in bad situations. It never works out for you for the most part when you get behind the chains. And back-to-back penalties like that, and I think we scored on 2 of them. But, anyway, that puts you in a bad situation. That's the one thing we need to clean up is, little things like that as far as that's what I've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, the little things that can really hurt you when you get into a big-type ball game.
Coach, having a game like that after the team lost 2 in a row, how important is it to go into district play with momentum that games like that produces?
Well, that's like I said the last time we talked. You always want to go in on a positive note. I think we definitely did that. Had an off week last week to be able to we were hoping to get some guys feet back up under them, so to speak. And I don't know how much emphasis we actually put on this week as far as the game from last week. A lot of the stuff that we do, as you've heard me say before, we're getting ready for the next play and the next game, the next drive, and so forth. So pretty much put Philadelphia to bed last Monday and have been working on the Newton County since.
One more question about Philadelphia, though, before we move off to Newton County. But I mentioned that because if you go back to the Union game, you look at Braylon Dixon. He throws a couple of interceptions. He comes back against Philadelphia. Had an outstanding game, I think. Went 7 for 11, 124 yards, 2 touchdowns. And this kid was eluding tacklers, making some great throws. Tell us your thoughts on number 9 and what he was able to do from the week prior to that week against Philadelphia and what he's shown you during this first half of the season.
Well, that last play of the half was the one that really sticks out of my mind. Scrambled, got away from the sack, avoided the sack, scrambled out, had the awareness to realize where he was on the field, and that speaks volumes, especially for a high school kid. I actually told Austin David's son the other night when we played Union. It gave me remembrances of a play that Austin had at Mendenhall the night we won the district championship several years back. We were very similar. Quarterback scrambles out, sets up. Austin actually retraced, but anyway, knew where the line of scrimmage was and throws a bullet for a touchdown. And, those are fun to watch. Those are fun to be a part of, and it takes a lot of maturity, I guess you would say, on a young man's part to make that play.
Again, we have our coaches show with head coach of the West Lauderdale football team, Coach Brock Clay. District play has actually already begun. While the Knights had a bye week last week, the rest of the Region 4-4A were in action. Newton County defeated Northeast Lauderdale 39-6. Leake Central defeated Choctaw Central 60-27. And you'll face the 2 winners from last week in back-to-back weeks, but Newton County is tonight. Talk to us about the importance of winning that first game in district play, especially now.
Well, absolutely. I don't know that there is anything more important. You want to stay in the top of that bracket so that you can have a shot at that district championship. So it's extremely important. It's, at this point, the most important game we've played. Next week will be the next most important game we've played. So it's getting the kids to buy in and coming in and going back to work with the attempt to achieve the goal that we've had for a long time, and that's to continue putting those banners up here.
Coach, I'm going to get intellectual on you for a second. Sports rivalry. I pressed the little mic on my phone and got a definition. An intense adversarial relationship between 2 competing athletic teams, athletes, or fan bases driven by factors like shared history, proximity, and the creation of an us versus them dynamic that strengthens team identity and fan loyalty. Given that definition, these 2 teams, I think, exemplify sports rivalry.
Newton County, and it doesn't really matter football. It's baseball, it's football, it's soccer, it's volleyball, it's softball, it's cheerleading, it's everything across the board. I don't know that you can find two more schools closer in proximity, closer in school makeup, closer in school support. You know, and anytime you put those together, especially with the fact that we're only about 25 miles apart, you know, it's going to be a big one. That's why we fought so hard to get it back a couple years ago when we lost that game for a couple years. But it's huge, and it's you know, if you look back, I mean, you know, North State Championship was baseball last year, was played right here between two teams. The entire north half was played right here in Collinsville or right over there in Decatur. You know, 25 miles apart. So a lot of rivalry. I think it is the definition of a rivalry.
Coach, this team, Newton County, has only been in existence since 1990. But if you look at the longest running rivalry in football for Newton County, West Lauderdale and Newton County have played 30 games against each other. Whatever the sport, you mentioned it, West Lauderdale, Newton County is always circled on the calendar. And even if you go back before that, yours and my day, even before that, I mean, you had teams like Martin, Sokolina, and Collinsville and Center Hill that played Chunky and Beulah Hubbard, people that would have went to Newton County or the area in Newton County. It's a fun game to watch, right?
Well, I mean, and let's go back to the baseball standpoint, which is what you were just referring to. You know, I made that comment. You know, I just made the comment about the north half being played right here in these two communities. It goes back to exactly what you're saying. The offspring of us older people, as we actually are now, you know, that's the kids that are competing now. I mean, us as dads we were playing. I mean, you got basically the two North State Championship baseball teams compiled from what we grew up as our summer league baseball. So I think that's a really awesome thing. And you know, football, if you look at it, I mean, this game has been for the district championship. I know the last 4 years, so you know, I'd like to hope and think and pray that everything can work out, and that's the way it falls out this time too.
Coach, I know last year the Cougars had a running back that surpassed 1,000 yards. He's in the backfield this year, 1 year older. But their air attack, I got to watch some of the highlights from last week's game against Northeast Lauderdale. But their air attack looked like something to focus on, especially after that game. What have you been able to see from Coach Bass's squad?
You know, you flip on the camera and you start watching, and it is going back to the rivalry thing, I guess is what I've got to say. You got two offenses that are almost identical. You've got two defenses that are almost identical. We play the same schemes. We play the same gap. They can't throw the football, but if we don't stop the run, I don't think we'll ever have to see a pass. You know, got several backs back there, 3, 4, 6. No, 3, 4, 2. My bad. And you know, and those guys can really get it and go. And you know, they've had a lot of success this year, letting them pound and then 7 throwing it up. So had a lot of success this year.
Coach, I know we have to thank some food sponsors as they've helped us out all throughout the season, another home game, so I'm pretty sure that they are helping the team out tonight with a pregame meal. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct. I would like to thank our sponsors. We are Home Instead, Collinsville First Baptist, RDT Metalworks, Total Solar Control, SMI, Complete Auto Care and Truck Accessories, Faith Baptist Church, Representative Billy Adam Calvert, Northcrest Baptist Church, and Chisholm Tire for our pregame meals. Also, I'd like to thank all those parents and moms and dads and community members that come in and help serve us on Friday on our pregame meals, and just can't express how much that actually does help us out. Also, it might be time to go ahead and give a plug to one more thing, Lee. We've got our annual 31 for 31 coming up. Those tickets are going to start being dispersed here very shortly, so please see a football player, go by Commercial Bank or the Rock House Trading Post, and probably even the back porch, and pick up your voucher or your opportunity for a voucher. I'm sure it's going to be the same. You spend $100, you get a fifth ticket free.
All right, good deal. Coach, the Knights have won the last 8 contests between the two schools, between West Lauderdale and Newton County. Tell us the keys to win the 9th straight and be sitting in the driver's seat in Region 4-4A.
You know, as I said earlier, I think this game is going to come down to who can run the football, who can stop the run. You know, and with that type game, you know as well as I do, field position and turnovers are going to be the biggest one. The team that makes mistakes and are able to overcome mistakes, they're going to have the better shot.
Good luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you, Lee.
Locally owned and operated for over 45 years, Battery One Source is your source for auto, motorcycle, marine, and lawn and garden batteries. But don't buy before you let them check your old battery. absolutely free. If your golf cart needs to be repaired or maybe you want to add some accessories, Battery One Source does that too. And with over 20 years experience in cell phone repairs, they are your cell phone and iPad repair headquarters. Battery One Source, located at 2618 North Frontage Road, or call 601-693-1500.
At East Mississippi Oral and Facial Surgery, Meridian native Dr. Asif Lala has the experience and innovation. EastMSOralSurgery.com.
When it comes to football supplies and equipment, there's only one place: All-Star Team Sports. Let All-Star Team Sports protect your football player with shoulder pads, helmets, arm sleeves, mouth guards, and more. Want to support your favorite teams? All-Star Team Sports has a great selection of spirit wear, including shirts, hats, sweats, and more. So whether it's a 40-yard run for a first down or a touchdown dance in the end zone, your player will look like an all-star with All-Star Team Sports. 1100 24th Avenue in Meridian.
Show your West Lauderdale spirit while benefiting the school with a School Spirit debit card from the Citizens Bank. Go Knights! Use your West Lauderdale School Spirit debit card as a credit transaction, and for every signature purchase, the Citizens Bank will donate 5 cents to the school. Boost your school spirit with every purchase by using your West Lauderdale School Spirit debit card from the Citizens Bank. See Mike Shelby and the staff in Collinsville at the Citizens Bank, or call 601-626-7608. Member FDIC.
In sports, the goal is to be the best. And the same is true for Alpha Insurance. We work to make every quote, claim, or call a highlight. And that's why customers consistently give Alpha high marks for service. Call Alpha and let us help you save on home, car, and life insurance. In Meridian, call your Alpha agent Will Sweat at 601-482-2385 or stop by our office at 2340 North Hill Street, Suite A.
30 years ago, we asked one simple question. What do you need from a mower that you cannot get today? The answer was the Exmark Laser Z, and it changed everything. The rest, as they say, is history. Visit your local dealer to learn more about the Laser Z.
Find out more at your local Exmark dealer. Available at Freeman Tractor, 11610 Highway 494 in Collinsville.
Hello, this is Charles Frazier with Weidman's Restaurant. Historic downtown is booming, and we are proud to be a part of the economic revival. At Weidman's, you can enjoy Southern classics like shrimp and grits, fried green tomatoes, and black and red fish, or a boudin stuffed pork chop and USDA prime steak. We offer an extensive wine list and handcrafted cocktails, as well as a large selection of Mississippi beers. Come join us downtown at Mississippi's oldest restaurant, Weidman's, since 1870.
Tired of wasting your Friday and Saturday nights at auctions? Skip the hassle and head to Parker's Wholesale, the biggest warehouse in Mississippi. Located in the big gold building in Moselle, Parker's has it all. Tools, clothing, fishing gear, tactical equipment, artificial flowers, you name it. Open 7 days a week. Why wait for the weekend when you can shop and save every day? And before you leave, don't forget to enter our $500 drawing. Parker's Wholesale, where big deals meet small town service.
1, 2, 3. With just minutes away from kickoff, here's Leanne Clint with a preview of tonight's matchup on our official pregame show powered by Battery One Source and Q101.
That's right, about 16 minutes away from kickoff here at West Lauderdale. Of course, the West Lauderdale Knights coming in with West Lauderdale Knights coming in at a 3-2 record, while the Newton County Cougars 3-3. The Newton County Cougars began district play last week against Northeast Lauderdale, and a game that they won 39-6 in last week's contest. They are now 1-0 in district play. League Central also 1-0 in district play as they defeated Choctaw Central, and therefore West Lauderdale still yet to play a game in district play, so still 0-0. But hopefully this week we can get in that win column and be in the driver's seat for Region 5 4A. I know I said during the coaches show, and I think it's just because of habit, we've been in Region 4 4A for so that we are in Region 5 4A. We made the trip down to the South 4A, right, Clint?
Yes, sir, we did. And just kind of looking at the history of this game, it's been fairly one-sided, Lee.
Yeah, for the last
I went
few
back
years.
and looked. 2015 was the last time this game was decided by one score. And West Lauderdale has I'm not going to say dominated, but they have owned it over the last, decade.
Well, speaking of those games, the last 8 games have been in West Lauderdale's favor, going back to last year, 33-21, back in 2023, 24-7, 42-10, 32-16, 53-13, 44-0, 41-21, and then what you were referring to back in 2015, 20-12, and before that, Newton County had a 5-game win streak. And speaking of the series, 30 games. Newton County has won 17, while the West Lauderdale Knights have only won 13 compared to those 17. And if you go back to the first, maybe 10 to 15 ball games that the West Lauderdale Knights and County Cougars took part in, Newton County, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 out of the first 12 ball games, Newton County defeated the Knights. So Knights are creeping back up, but the Newton County Cougars lead the series 17-13 coming into tonight's action.
And just to kind of add on to it, I mean, we talked about the rivalry just based on proximity, location. I can think even where I go to church on Sundays. I mean, I've got kids that go to West Lauderdale. I got kids that go to Newton County. They know each other. This is a big game for them, and we're going to talk about that, moving forward in the season when we talk about this game against Northeast and different things. But I mean, this is a rivalry game, and back in 2023, 2022, 23, this became a district game again, and that just kind of compounded it. And Coach Clay talked about it. The North State Championship was decided here. The district championship in baseball was decided here. This game bears more weight than just a normal football game. For the last few years, this has decided the district championship. This has decided who has home field advantage and when we reach the playoffs. And so this is a big game very early on in district play.
All right, going to get very detailed here, and this may talk to more people my age. Around 50 years old. But there used to be county baseball teams that surrounded the area. And I mentioned this in the coaches show, but I kind of want to explain it a little bit for those maybe new to the area or maybe a little younger. There used to be 6 teams in our division that we would play each other. There were Sucalina, Collinsville, Center Hill, and Martin. But we also had 2 teams that were from around the Newton County area, Beulah and Chunky. And those 2 teams in Beulah Hubbard and Chunky were fantastic. And I remember this. They had galore. What I mean by that, their last name were Cheney. If you look at Newton County has had a lot of Cheneys in Newton County, but as far as the school goes. But you have now parents that played baseball together with those teams, Beulah Hubbard and Chunky. Now their kids are playing all types of sports against each other, and it's been a rival for not just the last few years. I know Newton County just became a school back in 1990, but you go back way before that. As far as this area at each other's I won't say throats, but it's been some heated rivalries throughout the last few years.
Yeah, I don't know where Beulah Hubbard is. I'm going to be honest. I know where Chunky is.
Yeah. Get you your starters for the West Lauderdale Knights, offensive as well as defensively, and also that FCA Pep Talk is coming your way in just a matter of moments here on Q101.
right.
Yeah.
EastMSOralSurgery.com. Are you ready for some tailgating?
Down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Piggly Wiggly in Collinsville or Choctaw can do the cooking for all your tailgating this football season. Mouth-watering ribs and Boston butts are always available. If that's not enough, how about those delicious pulled pork sandwiches? For all your tailgating snacks, food, and drinks, shop with the great folks at Piggly Wiggly in Collinsville and Choctaw.
Down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Now with your FCA Pep Talk, sponsored by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville on Q101.
This is Dalton Smith, Area Director for the Greater Meridian Fellowship of Christian Athletes with your FCA Pep Talk. In sports, every athlete knows the importance of strength. It's what keeps you standing when the game gets tough. That's why players spend hours in the weight room building muscle and endurance, but the weights only help if you consistently show up and put in the work. In Ephesians 6, Paul reminds us that spiritual strength comes from God. He tells us in verse 10 to be strong in the Lord and in the strength of His might. Ephesians 6 reminds us that we need God's strength because daily we're in a battle. Paul tells us that our real fight isn't against other people, but against spiritual forces that want to pull us away from God. That's why we need God's armor. We're commanded to put on the whole armor of God so that we can stand against the schemes of the devil. Just like a player needs the right gear to take the field, we need God's armor to stand firm. His truth, His righteousness, and His word are what gives us the power to resist temptation and persevere through trials. Just like lifting weights strengthens your body, spending time with God strengthens your soul. So today, take time to draw strength from Him that He provides, rely on His power, and you'll have the strength to fight and stand firm.
Tune in next week for another FCA Pep Talk on Q101. WJDQ Meridian and Collinsville. We are Q101. And on Friday nights, we turn into your West Lauderdale Knights football connection.
Interception, West Lauderdale.
Now, let's send it back to the field with Lee and Clint on
Your hit music connection. Q101.
And welcome back to the pregame show being brought to you by Battery One Source. I'd like to thank John Dufour and the fine folks there at Battery One Source for another great year and the pregame show. During the break, we did have our coin toss, and I'm going to turn it over to Clint to give us that information.
Yes, sir, Lee. We just completed the coin toss in midfield. Your captains for West Lauderdale were number 45, Bryson Alford, number 73, Malachi Thompson, number 2, Javion Wilson, and number 12, Cameron Vaughn. For Newton County, number 3, Cam Bell, number 2, Byron Pruitt, number 1, Logan Evans, and 0, Juan Brown. West Lauderdale actually won the toss. As you can probably hear from the background, the Cougars from Newton County are running on the field, but West Lauderdale won the toss and elected to receive. So they will be taking the kickoff and moving right to left as you steer at your radio here in just a couple of moments.
Offense for the Knights goes like this. Left tackle Cole Wright wearing number 59. Left guard number 73 Malachi Thompson. Your center is Jordan Williams, number 63. Right guard is number 62 Ray Spence. Right tackle is number 67 Preston Thomas. H-back number 45 Bryson Alford. Tight end number 40 Zach Bankston. Wide receiver number 7 S.J. Cole. And number 3 Zayden Moore. Travion Mosley coming in with 707 yards to begin tonight's action with 7 touchdowns, wearing number 6. And your quarterback, sophomore quarterback Braylon Dixon, number 9, who is 27 of 50 on the year, 404 yards, 4 touchdowns in the air, and 4 touchdowns on the ground. Defensively for the Knights, Ross Clearman, number 55, has 12 tackles for loss and 4 sacks on the season. Number 74, DeAndre Taylor, and number 53, Micah Thompson are your defensive tackles. Number 44, Aiden McClinton is your opposite defensive end. Javion Wilson, Cody Pickford, and Braden Massey are your linebackers. Cornerbacks, Davion Grace, Cohen Peoples, and safeties tonight, S.J. Cole, number 7, and Cameron Vaughn, number 12. And that's your starting roster for the West Lauderdale Knights, who are wearing their black helmets, silver logo, black jerseys, silver numerals, and gray pants with the white and black stripe down that right and left side of their leg. Newton County kicks off, goes to the far side around the 27-yard line. I believe that's Zayden Moore coming this way to the 30. Still trying to find a little lane. Doesn't find much, but finds a little crease around the 33-yard line.
Yeah, ran through an ankle tackle, literally trying to wrap him around the ankles, but that definitely slowed him down a little bit, kept him from breaking the big run. But not bad starting field position here for our Knights to begin this game. Lee, we got started a couple minutes early.
Yeah, we did.
So for those of you who might be joining us, anticipating a little bit of the pregame, we are actually rolling. Newton County going to be on defense to begin here as your Knights take over 1st and 10 on their own 33-yard line. Lee, we had a fairly significant injury this week in practice. Have you talked about that yet?
I have not, and we'll get to that a little bit. But as the Knights break huddle on the sideline, pistol formation, Cameron Vaughn to the left, Zayden Moore to the right as far as your receivers go, and handoff goes to Mosley, and Travion Mosley gets up to the 38-yard line, a pickup of 5 yards. Pick up 5 yards, 2nd down and 5. Yeah, still trying to get some information on the injured leg of Lamarion Spencer, but yeah, he will not be in tonight's action as he sustained an injury during practice this past week.
Lamarion Spencer, as I'm sure you're aware, just a stable on the defensive side of the ball, and also a key component in the running game as well, Lee.
2 receivers now on that far side. He has come on strong on defensively the last couple of weeks. Pistol formation for the Knights. 2 receivers to the far side, another handoff to Mosley. Mosley goes right up the middle before coming off to this near side off tackle, minimum pickup. But I tell you what, I think he's the one that made himself fall down to the ground there. He kind of tripped over his own feet. Otherwise, I think he might still be running. But gets up to the 41-yard line, so it'll be a gain of 3. So 3rd down and short, 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, you got to think traditionally in this situation, they come up here with a hard count to try to get those free 5 and get that cheap 1st down. If not, we'll see how they go.
Mosley again with the handoff, goes to that far side. He's got a lane to run through to the 45 midfield, 45-40, 35-30. Gets taken down around the 32-yard line. They'll bring him down at the 32-yard line. Nice pickup for Travion Mosley. It's a 1st down for the Knights. 1st down sponsored by 2810 Coffee.
Yeah, that was a great job by the right side.
It's been 2 weeks.
There you go. Blame it on the bye week. But the right side of that offensive line just made a gaping hole for Mosley, and he made the best of that.
1st down and 10 for the Knights. Braylon keeps it, comes off to this near side, gets inside the 30. I believe they're going to mark him down around the 28-yard line. Braylon Dixon, who's come on strong here lately, too, on the ground game.
Yeah, just a solid 3-yard carry there to the left side, and what's the old saying, like 3 yards in a cloud of dust? You pick up 3-4 yards every carry, man. That equals to a 1st down before a turnover on downs.
Actually, just to give you the update, 35 carries for Braylon Dixon, 216 yards coming into tonight's action, and most of those yards, he didn't run much in the first couple of games. 2nd down 7.
Yeah, didn't have to.
Receiver on each side of the field for the Knights. Braylon looking to pass. That is Zayden Moore with the completion. Gets to the 20. That is another 1st down, brought to you by 2810 Coffee.
Yeah, just a simple little curl route there by the wide receiver. Went about 5-6 yards, turned around, waited on the ball, and then good pickup of yard after the completion to get the 1st down.
Same formation for the Knights. I believe that's Cameron Vaughn checked in the game for the running back. He'll get the carry. He's inside the 15, inside the near their 10-yard line. Could be close to a 1st down.
I think they're going to mark him right on the 10, Lee, which
be just about a yard shy.
Oh man, that's less than a yard. I mean, you would measure that in inches, not in feet, I think.
You're just now joining us. I know it's just now 7 o'clock, but we are 8:51 into the first quarter.
8:51 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Knights are threatening here on the 10-yard line of Newton County. Vaughn stays in the game. And a carry by Braylon Dixon. Dixon to the 5, and does he shoot forward inside the end zone?
They're going to mark him down on the half-yard line, but that's going to bring up 1st and goal again with about 1.5 feet needed to cross that goal line.
1st down for the Knights. Another 1st down brought to you by 2810 Coffee, and it is a 1st down and goal from the 1-yard line. 2810 Coffee, and it is a 1st down and goal from the 1-yard line.
Yeah, that side judge was quick, pointing to the ground, saying that knee was down before he rolled into the end zone.
Look at this. Cameron Vaughn going under center. Cameron Vaughn, quarterback sneak, and he will get the touchdown for the West Lauderdale Knights to go up 6-0 in the opening moments of this football game. Very important football game for district play as the Newton County Cougars 1-0 facing the 0-0 Knights in district play. Knights jump out on top with 8:12 remaining. That touchdown brought to you by Parker's. Low snap, had trouble with the hold, but the score remains 6-0 in favor of the Knights. Once again, West Lauderdale Knights over the Newton County Cougars currently 6-0. We'll be back after this on Q101.
In sports, the goal is to be the best. And the same is true for Alpha Insurance. We work to make every quote, claim, or call a highlight. And that's why customers consistently give Alpha high marks for service. Call Alpha and let us help you save on home, car, and life insurance. In Meridian, call your Alpha agent Will Sweat at 601-482-2385 or stop by our office at 2340 North Hill Street, Suite A.
Now back to another quarter of West Lauderdale Night Football, powered by All-Star Team Sports on Q.
Well, bless you. Welcome back here to. All right, there you go. You all right?
I'm good. I got it out of my system. Sorry about that, y'all.
1 yard touchdown with for the West Lauderdale Knights just a few moments ago. Cameron Vaughn had checked into the game as your quarterback and got 6 points for the Knights, and the Knights lead 6-0, awaiting the kickoff for the Knights. There it is. Aguilar kicks it inside the 25, catches it at the 21, up to the back of the 25. He gets nailed. I don't know if he tried to high step, but
yeah,
he got leveled.
Yeah, I didn't catch the number, and there were actually two. One lifting him up way over his head, and another black jersey gunning down was able to pick him up and plant him. So great job by the kickoff team to get down there quick. Your gunners were hustling down that field.
Spot the ball at the 29-yard line. Newton County comes in with their orange helmet with the white paw, white jerseys.
I mean, can we just call them Clemson?
Close, very close. They for years they look like Florida State, Florida,
yeah.
University of Florida. But now, yeah, definitely Clemson. White jerseys, white pants with that orange stripe down the side. Tully King is your quarterback. He'll hand it off to his running back. Did not get the number there.
He is popping.
Oh, that is Brown.
Yeah, that was Juwan Brown, the senior running back. One of the captains tonight, Lee. And you can expect to see a heavy dose of him. He is the one who's been handling the majority of the running game so far this season.
Tully King again, shotgun formation.
Junior quarterback who's been playing for a couple of years now.
Oh, have a heavy line off that left-hand side, that far side. The receiver going in motion, and that was the reason he actually slipped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss on the play. That was Byron, Pruitt.
Yeah, senior wide receiver. Just try to jet sweep going right to left, and no contact. The turf monster, grass monster, I guess, jumped up and got him. But yeah, third down behind the line, so third down in 12?
Looks to be. First down to make it be at the 39-yard line. It is a third down at 12. Two receivers this near side, one to the far side. As Tully King, wearing number 7, a shotgun formation. There's blitz coming for the Knights, and man, throws deep, looks at it, and almost picked off. Number 12 for the Knights, Cameron Vaughn, went from touchdown to interception within a matter of seconds. It's 6:44 remaining here in the first quarter. Knights 6, and the Newton County Cougars about to punt the ball away.
Yeah, Vaughn back there playing free safety and able to jump that route and had there was a lot of green grass had he been able to come down with that interception. But either way, great job by your defense. Force a 3-and-out and make the punt team come out here early on their first drive.
There's a snap, gets the punt away, end over end punt. Going to come down around the 41-yard line, take a little bit of a Cougar bounce to the 38, but the Knights will have decent field position to start out their second drive.
Yeah, like I said, if you were scripting the game, you couldn't ask for a better start.
Right.
Offense able to drive down the field with very little, nothing really got in their way. They were able to pick up positive yardage every play and ran the ball, threw the ball, everything worked for you. You score the touchdown. The only negative you really have so far is the missed extra points. And then you kick the ball off, you're able to force a 3-and-out and watch your offense come back out again.
Right. West Lauderdale again starting now. They'll actually spot the ball at the 39-yard line, moving right to left on your radio. Two receivers to this near side. That's Zayden Moore and S.J. Cole. Shotgun formation, and Travion Mosley to the left of his quarterback, and S.J. Cole will get the reception to this near side. Might have lost a little bit, about a half a yard.
Yeah, tried a little screen pass out, to the wide receiver on the near side, and the Cougars defense were able to sniff that out and drop him for no gain.
No gain, no loss either.
Yeah.
Second down and 10. They'll have a receiver on each side of the field for the Knights now. Again, the Knights moving right to left. Pistol formation for the Knights as Mosley's directly behind Braylon Dixon. Dixon will hand off to Mosley. Mosley goes right up to the line and finds a little crease of about 3 yards. We'll see where the official marks it. Gets up to the 43-yard line. So a gain of 4. Third down and 6 to come up.
Yeah, good hard run there from Mosley. And the offensive line able to get a little bit of a push, but just not a whole lot there. Third down and manageable, but middle. Yeah, so we'll see what our Knights are able to cook up here. Is this the first third down they faced, Lee? I don't think they had. Did they have a third down last drive? Yeah, so.
Third down and 6. Yeah, they did. They had third down and 1.
Oh, yeah.
Last drive. Braylon Dixon looking to pass and undershoots his intended receiver. S.J. Cole bring up fourth down and 6.
Looked like a little bit of miscommunication there between the receiver and the quarterback. S.J. Cole cut inside. It looked like Dixon was anticipating an out cut, and so just missed him. But either way, fourth down, punt team coming out. Looks like Aguilar getting ready to punt the ball away.
I was told earlier before the game that Newton County's defense is a very stingy defense, maybe one of the best that we'll face all year. So we just saw that right there as far as this past drive. Aguilar gets his leg into it, punts away from the returner, going to go inside the 30, inside the 20, inside near the 15. He's going to be stopped at the 16-yard line, so nice bounce for the Knights as the Cougars will take over on their own 16-yard line.
Yeah, good job by Aguilar to kick away from the return man, and you get that end-over-end kick. A lot of times you'll get that roll in your favor, which is what he was able to do.
Clint, this is a team that, Newton County that exemplifies you win the important games, you get into the playoffs. Last year they lost their first 5 ball games, then won their next 2 against Northeast Lauderdale and Choctaw Central, then lost against Leake Central and West Lauderdale. But those 2 victories got them into the playoffs. And you go into the season only winning 2 ball games. Many people's like, okay, let's go to next year. But no, you get in the playoffs, you win those games, those important games, and you can make it to the playoffs.
Absolutely. Well,
handoff goes to running back, comes to the opposite side of the line, and gets a big-time carry of about 14 yards, gets all the way up to the 30.
But Lee, you're absolutely right. I mean, you win the games you need to win. You can go into the playoffs with a 2-8 record. Mm-hmm. And the beautiful thing about the playoffs is once you win it, everybody's 0-0.
Right. That was a first down being brought to you by 2810 Coffee. That was Mr. Brown. You call him Juwan. I called him Juan, so I apologize. One of us.
I was going to say, someone's right. Well,
yeah. Tully King swings it out to his receiver in the slot there, number 3. He stays on his feet to the 40, out of bounds around the 45. They're going to say he's around the 46-yard line.
Yeah, able to break through a tackle and pick up big yardage again there for the Cougars.
They're going to say he went out of bounds at the 45.
So 2 plays, 2 first downs, Lee.
First down sponsored by 2810 Coffee.
We'll go with Juan.
Okay.
I think I like Juan. I'll yield to you. I think you got it right.
All right. Receiver on each side of the field for Tully King, number 7. There's a snap, hands it off to Brown, goes to that far side. Brown stays on his feet, gets a pass into Knights territory around the 49, between the 48-49 yard line.
Yeah, that's going to be about a 7-yard pickup there, Lee.
Second down and 3 for the Cougars, moving left to right. Again, score is 6-0. The Knights scored on their first possession on a 1-yard quarterback keeper from number 12, Cameron Vaughn.
Yeah, I didn't say it. I was thinking it at the time. It's always a bold strategy to put somebody else under center, somebody new, because you can disrupt the relationship between the center quarterback, and you always run the risk of that bubble. But Vaughn able to reel it in, get that touchdown, and was what put the Knights ahead.
Tully King has 2 backs in his backfield, but he hands it off to Brown. Brown trying to get up to that first down marker, but he does not get it. He's about a yard shy. Going to bring up third down and short. And moved Pruitt back there in the backfield with him.
Yeah, Pruitt's already carried it once, so you know that jet sweep is always in their back pocket.
All right, so I don't know if Tully got hurt or if they're just bringing in another quarterback, but Tully has exited the football game, and in comes number 21, Miles Mangum.
Yeah,
he's no stranger.
He is a direct snap kind of guy. You don't expect him to put the ball in the air. He's just an extra runner.
High snap, but Juan Brown takes the direct snap. He'll get the first down as he crosses to the 43-yard line. First down brought to you by 2810 Coffee.
Yeah, you can expect that in short yardage situations out of these Cougars. They will bring in a couple of different guys to step into that quarterback role as Tully comes back out onto the field. Because what it does is if you're able to run that quarterback or whomever you put to take a direct snap, your running back becomes an extra blocker for you. You're able to clear that path a little bit easier.
Shotgun formation for King. Has two receivers to this near side. Takes a snap, hands it off to Brown. Brown comes to this near side. He's to the 35, 30 inside the 30. It's about the 27-yard line.
Slow to get up now, Lee.
Yeah, he's slow to get up.
They're gonna. Yeah, he's hurt, Lee. They're bringing out the trainer right now.
Injury timeout. Will step aside as well as they tend to Mr. Brown. Again, this is West Lauderdale football. Current score is 6-0 in favor of the Knights. We'll take a step aside. 30 seconds. Be right back on Q101.
Fall is here and 2810 has all of your fall flavors. Start your morning the right way with 2810 Coffee in Collinsville. We're serving up warm biscuits, fresh bagels, scones, cinnamon rolls, and of course, the perfect cup of coffee or latte to kickstart your day. We open bright and early, 6 a.m. weekdays, 7 a.m. Saturdays. Right off Highway Night Specials on Facebook or call or text your order to 769-526-8200. 2810 Coffee.
Field with live West Lauderdale football. Only on Q101.
Handoff goes to Mangum. Mangum gets inside the 25-yard line. A game of he's still not going down. He's down to the 22-yard line.
Yeah, Miles Mangum, a junior running back, also plays a little defensive back and just a solid running back in and of itself.
Clock is down to 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Knights top 6-0, but the get down 4 for the Cougars. Just an update on Brown, who came off. He did actually walk off on his own.
He seemed to be favoring the shoulder, Lee, that left shoulder, but we'll see what comes of that.
Flag comes in to stop play here.
I think that's going to be offsides against the Cougars. Not a false start. They were signaling offsides like somebody on the offensive side lined up in the neutral zone.
That flag on the play brought to you by Chris McDonald, State Farm Insurance Agent, and that's exactly what it was. It's going to bring up second down and 9, second down and 8, second down and 9.
A lot of times when that's called, you're going to see that outside, like a wide receiver, a tight end who's lined up off the ball. Just somebody who got a little too close to that line of scrimmage, Lee. But either way, this can bring up second down and 9, like you said. Knights looking for a stop here in their own territory for the Cougars.
Tully King in shotgun formation has a back to his left and looking to pass is King. Makes a connection there onto that far side. And he's still on his feet to the 20, to the 15, and out of bounds around the 10. We'll get the official spot around the 11. They'll say he went out at the 11-yard line, but it is another first down for the Cougars, sponsored by 2810 Coffee. Knights allowed 2 weeks ago Philadelphia to march the field a couple of times and had that bend don't break defense. Let's see if we can do it again against the Newton County Cougars. Heavy line to that right hand side. Brown's checked back into the game, so he remains in the backfield. He's going to take the direct snap here. Brown hands off to Mangum. Mangum goes to that far side, gets leveled at first, but still on his feet. He's going to be near the 5-yard line of that's about a gain of about 6 yards. But it looked to be he's going to get stood up around maybe the 10 or 9-yard line, and he continues to push his way forward.
Yeah, just kind of bounced off that initial tackler and able to pick up extra yardage, Lee, as the Cougars are looking in the end zone here.
Yep, second down and 4, and Brown will keep it himself, and he gets pushed back, but after he initially got about a 2-yard pickup, so it's going to bring up third down 2 for the Cougars.
Yeah,
I don't know if they gave him that much.
Yeah, they're going to mark him just inside the 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, third down and about 2.
They can get a first down.
But that's the end of the first quarter, Lee.
Yep.
Hello, this is Charles Frazier with Weidman's Restaurant. Historic downtown is booming, and we are proud to be a part of the economic revival. At Weidman's, you can enjoy Southern classics like shrimp and grits, fried green tomatoes, and black and red fish, or a boudin stuffed pork chop and USDA prime steak. We offer an extensive wine list and handcrafted cocktails, as well as a large selection of Mississippi beers. Come join us downtown at Mississippi's oldest restaurant, Weidman's, since 1870.
This quarter of West Lauderdale Night Football is powered by All-Star Team Sports on Q101.
Back here in action, the Knights lead the Cougars 6-0. However, the Cougars are just 3 yards away from getting their first points of the ball game. It's 3rd down and 2 from the 3-yard line.
Yeah, barring a major loss of yardage, you have to think that the Cougars are in a 4-down territory here, Lee. And I'm sure that's what Coach Clay and the rest of the guys were kind of challenging his guys. Hey, we've given up the yardage, but not the points yet, so let's stand strong.
Cougars will trot out with Juan Brown, number 0, and number 2 in the backfield, who is Byron Pruitt. Pruitt looks to be the one taking the snap here, and he will. He goes off to that far side, looking for a lane, and look who comes through is the opposite number 2 for the Knights. Javion Wilson comes in, and then a big stop in the backfield all the way to the back, at the 8-9 yard line. So big stop in the backfield helps the Knights out here on defense. Again, last week or 2 weeks ago against Philadelphia, a couple of times the Philadelphia Tornadoes getting deep into the Knights territory, and the Knights come up big with a.
You have to be able to protect against that right now, but 4th and big here, deep in Knight territory for the Cougars.
4th down, 7 to go for the Cougars. A receiver on each side of the field. We're going to stay here in action since we just came back from a break, but the Knights, this will be huge as, again, their first drive of the ball took it all the way and scored on a 1-yard touchdown run by Cameron Vaughn, who was actually lined up as quarterback. But the Cougars, on their first drive, the Knights made them go 3 and out, and this is their second drive. Come up big with this and put a little separation.
Back to your offense with a chance to take a 2-score lead, which, I mean, anybody who knows football knows that if it's a 1-score game, then anything can happen. But you want to be able to put a little separation here. But
back from timeout,
Lee. I don't see King out there.
Yeah, that's won't turn his number to me. Brown remains in the game, but Tully King is. He rolls out to his left, trying to find a receiver. Heaves it off to the end zone. Does he make it? Yes, it is complete. He threaded the needle right there. Didn't get the number of the receiver for Newton County, but he found a little opening, and Tully King saw him.
Yeah, just kind of hanging out there, very back in the end zone. That was number 3. That's
Kane Bell.
Yeah.
11:02 remains. Touchdown brought to you by Parker's Wholesale.
Big extra point here as they run that swinging gate. That, you know, the Knights used.
Mangum doing the extra point duties. There's a snap, high snap. Kick is no good, so we stay tied.
Oh, he about took out the referee there. Did you see that?
11:02 remains here in the first half. 6-6 is your score. We'll be back after 30 seconds on Q101.
In life, some things just go together, like a burger and fries and home and auto insurance from State Farm. Combine and save. In Meridian, talk to State Farm agent Chris McDonald today. Located at 4542 Poplar Springs Drive. Call 601-483-7743 for a quote on auto, homeowners, condo, renters, personal articles, business, life, and health insurance. State Farm agent Chris McDonald is a proud supporter of the West Lauderdale Knight football team.
Go Knights! This quarter of West Lauderdale Night Football is powered by All-Star Team Sports on Q101.
Well, the Knights give up an 8-yard touchdown pass from Tully King to number 3, Kane Bell. Extra point was no good. Score stays tied, 6-6. Number 15 doing the kickoff duties, Austin Marco. Kicks to that far side. Comes down to the 27. Cameron Vaughn with the return. Still trying to find a lane. Runs into his own man, but he stays on his feet to the 35-40, out of bounds around the 44-yard line. 43,
yeah,
I'll say 43.
Yeah, I think he went around the 43. Not a bad return there for Kem Vaughn, running the entire length of the field. I think he ended up running about 50 to 53 yards across the field trying to find that lane as they mark it.
Actually, they're going to say,
yeah,
44.
There you go. Again, not bad starting field position here for the Knights.
Knights will break huddle on the sideline.
So you've had 2 drives so far if you're the Knights. One, couldn't do anything wrong. The second one, 3 and out. So we'll see how we do come out on this third one.
Heavy side on that right-hand side. Braylon Dixon hands it off to Travion Mosley. He's gone to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, 15, 10, 5, and touchdown, West Lauderdale.
As we both look backwards at the same time. Just a run between guard and tackle.
You and I could have fit through that hole.
I wouldn't have the speed.
7 touchdowns on the ground, so 8. Add 1 to that. Yeah. Now it's 8 on the ground.
All right, taking another shot at this extra point here, Lee. It is 12-6, extra point pending. Aguilar back. And we'll see how this one goes before we talk about the first one again.
There's a snap, hold is down, kick is up, and looks good from here.
Again, good snap, good hold. The last one couldn't really pin that one on Aguilar.
That touchdown sponsored by Parker Wholesale. We'll come right back. Score 13-6 in favor of the Knights. We'll be back on Q101.
Attention savvy shoppers. Are you ready to unlock incredible savings and discover unique items? Come on down to Family Flea Market on B Street today. Dive into a vibrant world where bargains await at every turn. Vintage clothes, handmade crafts, one-of-a-kind antiques, and so much more. Don't miss out on jaw-dropping discounts and delightful finds that tell a story. Bring your friends and family for a fun-filled community experience supporting local vendors at Family Flea Market on B Street. Open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Commercials done. And the action continues with West Lauderdale Night Football on Q101.
Couple of touchdown runs for the Knights. One in the form of a 1-yard touchdown run, but the other one was a little more exciting. 56-yard touchdown run has the Knights back on top, 13-6. And I don't want to belittle Cameron Vaughn's touchdown run by any means, but 56-yarder kind of gets excited.
So which Aguilar is going to kick this one, Lee?
One of them.
Okay.
All right. 10:41 remains in the first half. Knights lead 13-6.
It's going to be Rudy.
Rudy kicks it deep. Going to come down at the 12-yard line. Return man tries to go back to the opposite side of the field. Still on his feet. He's up to the 25, 26, 20, about. They're going to stop him at the 28-yard line.
Yeah, so I asked that question a lot in a joking manner, but for those of you who are listening, there are 2 Aguilars, I believe, on our roster. And both of them are fully capable of kicking it off. Typically, the older brother Rudy is the one who will kick it deeper, and the younger brother he'll do a pooch kick, just kind of going about 15, 20 yards, trying to not a true onside, but trying to steal possession. But either way, the Cougars take over 1st and 10 on their own 28-yard line here on their 3rd drive of the night.
King takes a snap, hands it off to Brown. Brown goes to that far side. You got to find an answer for Brown. Brown's a pretty hefty back. He gets all the way up to the 37-yard line before being brought down.
Yeah, that's Juan Brown, the senior running back. And you're right, Lee. He's not a finesse back. I mean, he is a wrecking ball coming in.
Go down at 2 for the Cougars. Again, the score 13-6 in favor of the Knights, but the Knights did not have an answer for the Cougars ground in the previous drive. King looking to pass, going off to that far side, trying to heave it off to that far side, and Cameron Vaughn about come up with another interception. Didn't have an interception earlier tonight, but almost came up with one.
Yeah.
There is a flag in the backfield on that far side, in the vicinity of maybe holding.
Yeah, it's kind of a late flag, but it is going to be holding against the Cougars.
That flag sponsored by State Farm Insurance agent Chris McDonald.
Yeah, so they'll back him up another 10 yards, make it 2nd down and 12.
I believe Brown was the running back last year that had over 1,000 yards. Yeah, it's going to be 2nd down and 12.
Ball on the 26-yard line now. Need to get out to the 38 for a first down.
They're moving
okay.
it back, so it did happen in the backfield.
Yeah, so that backed them up another 2 yards. They put it on the 24, so second down and 14.
Receiver on each side of the field for King. Does have Brown to his right side. Another handoff goes to Brown, goes right up the middle, and Brown is still on his feet, passing the 35 before he gets pushed back.
That is just a lot of running back. That right now the Knights are having a hard time. You're not going to be able to tackle that man one-on-one. It's going to take a gang tackle. But third down and back to about where they were pre-penalty. So third down and 2 on the 36-yard line. So about a 12-yard carry there for Brown.
.907 remains here in the first half. Score again 13-6 in favor of the Knights. Third down and 2 for King and the Cougars. King looking to pass, has a receiver number 2, and he finds him, makes the connection. He's down to the 45, near the 47, maybe even 48-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to mark him on the 48-yard line, Lee, as a big pitch and catch there between King and was that Campbell that came down with it? Or?
Byron Pruitt.
Oh, Byron, number 2, you're right, Lee. Good call. Byron Pruitt on that reception.
I was able to watch a few of the highlights from Newton County and Northeast Lauderdale, and they had an air raid in last week's ball game. The Newton County Cougars did.
A lot of seniors on this team right here, Lee.
Same formation for the Cougars. Receiver on each side of the field. High snap. Brown will get the handoff, goes out to that far side off tackle, and man, he just can't bring him down if you're tackling him up high.
Yeah, you've got to go low, and again, you've almost got to have more than one person coming at him. But they're going to give
6.
Get down to the 40. So, Lee, you were talking about the touchdown run by Mosley a couple minutes ago, called it exciting. What do you think what do you find more exciting? An elongated drive like we had the first time, or that one and gun? You know, what is more beneficial?
We'll talk about that after this play. Second down, 4 to go for King and the Cougars. King rolls out to his right. Looked to be a hold, but gets taken back in the backfield, and that'll be a quarterback sack, about 8-9 yards actually. It's going to bring up third down and long, third down and 12. I guess knowing the logistics of football and how a long, you said elongated drive out that defense, you look at the Knights defense, they were right back on the field after a couple plays. So as far as excitement goes, you know how it hurts that right back out on the football field. 3 receivers to the far side. Third down, 12 to go for the Cougars. King looking right, throws right, finds his receiver, makes the connection, and is tackled immediately, but not, and gets back up to around the 45-yard line of the Knights, 46-yard line of the Knights. It's going to bring up fourth down, about 4 to go.
Yeah, again, a manageable fourth down. I don't see the punt team coming out here. I think they're going to go for it here, Lee. Big play here. What about middle of the second quarter here? Opportunity for the Knights to shut it down, to give the ball back to your offense, to take a 2-touchdown lead. A 2-touchdown lead if you're able to hold here on the 4th and 4.
Brown and another Cougar lined up to that right-hand side, looking for a hard count. Does not get the Knights to jump, but Tully King looks back over
they're
his
going to
shoulder.
take a timeout. That play clock is running out.
6:05. We'll stay here in action, but I don't know. Going back to your question, you like to have the Knights to be able to have big plays like that, but I don't know. You turn the question back around on you.
I worded it 2 different ways. I don't know if you noticed that. The first way I worded it was exciting. What's the more exciting? Obviously, that big play is going to be the more exciting one. But what's more beneficial for your team is definitely going to be that elongated drive where you're able to wear down the defense. And on the other hand, you're able to give your defense time to get some water, get their breath back under them, get their legs under them, and just get a little bit of a breather. So, if you're a fan of the stands, listening, watching the game online, wherever you are, you love to see that big play touchdown. But if you're on the sideline, if you're in the game, then you love just to establish your dominance on that drive.
Speaking of allowing your team to get a little rest, how about tonight's weather for a football game? Currently, the real feel out 67 degrees.
Are these MCC reps throwing out some T-shirts?
Here we go, 4th down 4. No, that's Juan Brown takes this snap, and he'll get a first down inside the 40. Still stays on his feet. Gets to around the 37-yard line. Juan Brown.
Yeah, took that direct snap, acting as the quarterback, and I'm telling you, he's going to be hard for us to slow down.
What you were referring to, so we can have our listeners understand, some of the MCC faithful out here tonight throwing T-shirts. High snap. Tully King brings it down, swings it out to his receiver. Did that hit the ground? No. Looked to be initially going to hit the ground, but he does get stopped in the backfield around the 39-yard line. That'll be a drop of 2 yards, so bring up 2nd down and 12.
Yeah, great job by the defensive backs to recognize the screen and get out there quick. He was able to corral the pass, but he was immediately hit, unable to shake the defenders, and dropped for a 2-yard loss.
5:13 remains here in the first half. Scores 13-6.
Heavy set on this near side.
2nd down 12 for King. Hands off to Brown. Brown goes to that far side. He has found a spot that he can pick onto that far side. Gets up about 4 yards.
That's going to bring up third and long here, Lee. I think that's going to be closer to 3rd and 9.
Okay, only a pickup of 3 yards. 3rd and 9. But if you consider this 4-down territory, and I'd venture to say Coach Bobby Bass is more than likely would go for it.
Well, he's already going for it on 4th down,
2 times.
Yeah, about 6 yards behind it. So you got to think it's 4-down territory here for him.
This pistol formation for King has Brown directly behind him, and he'll roll out to his right. Quarterback rolls out to his right. Probably should have got rid of it because he just got dropped by Bryson Alford.
Now
the 46-yard line.
Now you may have to punt because you're looking at 4th in a really long way. So that loss of yardage, that's going to bring up 4th and, about 4th and 17? Something like that.
Yeah, they'll spot the ball on the 45-yard line. First down to make would be at the 27-yard line.
Yeah, so the punter, number 1, Logan Evans there, ready to punt the ball away for the Cougars.
Don't forget, the Cougars do get the ball they'll receive the ball at the start of the second half. So if the Knights can get up any points prior to halftime, it'd be great. End over end punt. Not sure if it's returnable by Travion Mosley, but Mosley will pick it up. Maybe a little dangerous, but he's up to the 10, out of bounds, or inside the 15. But that was a dangerous play right there.
It was, but it worked out. Saved some yardage rather than going deep into your own territory, able to get a little bit of room to breathe off your own goal line.
So, again, the Knights will have the football at the 14-yard line. With 3:27 remaining in the first half.
Yeah,
Knights lead 13-6.
3:27 and the full allotment of timeouts. That's plenty of time for the Knights to get downfield.
Knights have had a 1-yard touchdown run and a 56-yard touchdown run. Cougars have had an 8-yard touchdown pass. Braylon Dixon will have one receiver to this near side, and that's Aiden Moore. He's going in motion to the far side. Travion Mosley gets the handoff, goes right up the middle, gets up about the 18, maybe even 19-yard line.
Yeah, good run there by Mosley to start this drive, able to pick up solid yards. So they're going to give him, about 4 yards on that?
Looks to be spotted in between the 18. No, they're going to put it right there on the inside of the 18-yard line. So pick up a 4. 2nd down 6. Again, Zayden Moore, your only receiver on the field to this near side. Dixon, another handoff to Mosley. Mosley comes to this near side and can't break free this time. Crowd in the backfield. It's going to be a couple of yard loss.
Yeah, that's going to bring up 3rd and long, 3rd and
actually
they're going to say he got close to that line of scrimmage.
They're going to say he lost 1 yard,
yeah.
So bring up 3rd down 7.
Yeah, so if you're the Cougars, do you take a timeout here?
You may want to because, again, you get the ball to start the second half.
They're not, and it looks like Coach Clay and his offense, they're going to be content letting this play clock run down just in case you don't pick up the yardage. Well,
Vaughn checks into the game, and a reverse. Cameron Vaughn goes to that far side looking for a lane. He finds a little crease, but not much. Gets back up around the 20. Pickup of about 3, maybe even 4 yards, but definitely I'm not so sure that you want to gamble with this.
I think you got to punt the ball away if you're the Knights. And
unless you want to come out and drain the clock, if they're not going to take a timeout, I mean, might as well drain as much as you can and try to get them to jump all sides.
Yeah, the offense is staying on the field, but you have to think this may be a ploy.
Clock is down to 1:41. 4th down, 4 to go. Braylon Dixon still in the game, and early movement against the Knights.
So it was a hard count, trying to draw the defense off sides. However, a offensive lineman on that far side got a little bit antsy. And that's going to bring up 4th down and 9. And the biggest thing is that stops the clock, and
right.
You know, you lost about 12, 13 seconds that would have burned off.
Flag on the play sponsored by Chris McDonald, State Farm Insurance Agent. You got to be careful here. Rudy's going to be backed up to around the 5-6 yard line. Back to return is number 3, Kane Bell. He's standing at his, actually he's standing inside Knight territory currently.
Yeah, he has his heels on the 50-yard line. Never mind, he took a couple steps up.
Aguilar got his foot into the last one. He was able to punt. Awaiting the snap. 1:32 remaining here in the first half. Again, the Knights lead 13-6. Last thing you want to do is give up points to the Cougars prior to halftime. Essentially, they could put up 14 unanswered points. There's a snap. Punt gets away. End over end. Might have got tipped.
Yeah, they were coming for it, Lee.
At the 47-yard line, up to 45, 40, and he stays on his feet somehow, and he backpedals.
That may come back to bite him.
Yep. He would have had it around the 40, 41-yard line, and he backpedals and ends up getting dropped. They're going to say he's down at the 48-yard line.
So he lost about 3 yards on that, Lee. But either way, it was a good punt. You know, able to get it away because, like I said, the Cougars were coming after that punt. But, you know, really not bad field position for the Cougars since they're going to start in the Knight territory on the West Lauderdale 48-yard line here with 1 minute 17 seconds left to go and 2 timeouts, I believe.
Tully in the shotgun formation does have Brown to his right. Brown he fumbles the football. West Lauderdale will take over at the 47-yard line. How about this change of events?
There you go. Just a Brown never had control of that handoff, Lee. I don't know if King missed the abdomen when he was trying to hand it off or what, but just never had possession of it. But either way, Knights able to jump on that fumble, take over 1st and 10 on their own 40.
They're going to say the ball is
8-yard line.
Yep, just inside the 48-yard line. But how about the turn of events right here? The Knights, instead of having to stop the Cougars from scoring before halftime, now, I mean, you've got perfect opportunity to go up by 2 scores before halftime.
Yeah, you got 68 seconds and 3 timeouts, Lee. You can do a lot with that.
Mm-hmm.
The referees gathering together for something here.
Not sure what they could be discussing. Maybe spot of the football or time.
I think maybe the clock. Did the clock run?
I'm being told that yes, the clock did run. Having to reset the clock. Not sure exactly what time should be on the clock. But again, the Knights do have possession on their own 48-yard line just prior to halftime. 1:08 remains. Currently, this is on the clock. 1:14 is what they were wanting on this.
So you have a referee designated to run the clock, and they have a walkie-talkie and a headset that they can talk with the white hat with the head referee on the field.
And Braylon Dixon looking to pass as Cameron Vaughn. Thought that could have been pass interference, but
it was really closely. It's one of those, you know, I'm looking at it through West Lauderdale colored glasses, and I agree with you, but you know that was extremely close. You know, I'm not going to complain either way on that one.
They're jarring back and forth with each other afterwards too. 2nd down and 10. Clock is at 1:09. Tight receiver formation off to the right-hand side of the line. And Mosley will get the handoff. Comes to this near side. Mosley's not going anywhere.
He may get hit for a loss, Lee. I think they're going to mark it at 48.
Clock didn't start. Now it finally starts. That'll be about a They're going to say he's back up to the line of scrimmage. Bring up third down. And the Knights are probably going to just sit here and let the clock run as long as possible so they don't have a chance to, or at least the Cougars, if they don't get this here, this first down. Third down and 10 for the Knights. Pistol formation, little flea flicker here.
He's got
going
a man
down.
deep.
He's got Zayden Moore. Does Zayden Moore have enough speed? No, he does not.
Slightly overthrew him, but Moore just on a streak pattern, just running as fast as he can down that side, downfield, down the hash mark, and just wasn't quite quick enough to catch up to that pass.
In comes Aguilar on the punt team. Tell you what, there's been a lot that's been going on the past, 45 seconds?
Yes.
Knights had the ball, punted it away. Cougars decided to give it right back. Knights couldn't do anything with it. Fourth down and 10 from their own 48-yard line. 28 seconds left here. End over end punt. Going to come down inside the 20, and he is down. That's where his knee went down at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, he just caught it, went straight down with the knee, trying to preserve any kind of time. But I don't know what you can do, Lee. You got 22 seconds. We'll see here. You hope that doesn't come back to bite you, though,
Right.
as the Knights able to get that turnover, get the ball in pretty good field position, and just unable to really do anything with it. Now you were working quick, having to punt the ball away.
Mm-hmm. Receiver on each side of the field for King. King has Brown to his right. Actually, no, that's not Brown. I believe that's Mangum. Mangum gets out of the 30, and he's still on his feet to the 40. Gets out of bounds. Out.
Oh, no.
Just past the 45-yard line. Mangum gives the Cougars new life. They're going to say he went out of bounds at the 48-yard line. First down, sponsored by 2018. Got 15.4 seconds remaining before halftime. Again, the Knights lead 13-6, but the Cougars would like to change that before halftime. Two receivers on each side of the field for King. Cougars moving right to left. Mangum stays in the game to his right. Blitz going up the middle. Cody Pickford trying to get him a quarterback, but does not find him. And the quarterback shoots it off to number 3, makes the connection inside the 5-yard line. But the Cougars, do they have any timeouts left?
I think they've got 2 left, Lee.
6.7 seconds. They have 1 left, from what I understand. But the Cougars are in business. They did this quite often last week against Northeast, and they just did it again. Went in the air and made the Knights pay around the 3-yard line of the Knights.
It looks like they're taking that last time out, Lee.
We'll stay here in action, but again, first down, sponsored by 2810 Coffee, but just saw the arm of Tully King.
Yeah, he threw that, 50 yards in the air?
We'll stay here in action. Again, timeout on the field. Again, Mangum has been in the game, and I don't know if it has anything to do with Brown fumbling the football the previous drive, but you would think this would be Brown's football needing 3 yards, right?
You would think so, but again, if you don't have any timeouts left, can you afford to run it, if you're not able to pick it up? I don't know.
Cougars will have
that's
big backfield.
Brown's in the game. In fact, I don't see King in there.
Yeah, I don't see King, and I think Brown is going to be your direct snap guy. They do have a running back directly behind the guard. Brown will keep the snap, take the snap, and
he got stuffed.
He'll get stuffed at the 3-yard line. And do they have any timeouts left? No.
That is how the half ends.
The Knights will take a 13-6 lead in halftime, and probably a little
to run the ball in case you don't pick it up.
So then again, the Knights 13, the Newton County Cougars 6. The Newton County Cougars will receive the football to begin the second half. So, of course, we got a lot of things coming up your way in halftime. We'll talk about the scoring summary. We'll get you some up-to-date stats, and we'll go around the district as well as around the area with some scores for you. It's all coming your way with your halftime show being brought to you by Will Sweat, your Alpha Insurance agent. All coming your way next on Q101.
Fall is here, and 2810 has all of your fall flavors. Start your morning the right way with 2810 Coffee in Collinsville. We're serving up warm biscuits, fresh bagels, scones, cinnamon rolls, and of course, the perfect cup of coffee or latte to kickstart your day. We open bright and early, 6 a.m. weekdays, 7 a.m. Saturdays, right off Highway 19 North. Check out today's specials on Facebook or call or text your order to 769-526-8200. 2810 Coffee, your perfect cup is waiting.
Tired of wasting your Friday and Saturday nights at auctions? Skip the hassle and head to Parker's Wholesale, the biggest warehouse in Mississippi. Located in the Big Gold Building in Moselle, Parker's has it all. Tools, clothing, fishing gear, tactical equipment, artificial flowers, you name it. Open 7 days a week. Why wait for the weekend when you can shop and save every day? And before you leave, don't forget to enter our $500 drawing. Parker's Wholesale, where big deals meet small town service.
Are you ready for some tailgating?
Down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Piggly Wiggly in Collinsville or Choctaw can do the cooking for all your tailgating this football season. Mouth-watering ribs and Boston butts are always available. If that's not enough, how about those delicious pulled pork sandwiches? For all your tailgating snacks, food, and drinks, shop with the great folks at Piggly Wiggly in Collinsville and Choctaw.
Down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Show your West Lauderdale spirit while benefiting the school with a School Spirit debit card from the Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank will donate 5 cents to the school. Boost your school spirit with every purchase by using your West Lauderdale School Spirit debit card from the Citizens Bank. See Mike Shelby and the staff in Collinsville at the Citizens Bank or call 601-626-7608. Member FDIC.
Hello, this is Charles Frazier with Weidman's Restaurant. Historic downtown is booming, and we are proud to be a part of the economic revival. At Weidman's, you can enjoy Southern classics like shrimp and grits, fried green tomatoes, and black and redfish, or a boudin stuffed pork chop and USDA prime steak. We offer an extensive wine list and handcrafted cocktails, as well as a large selection of Mississippi beers. Come join us downtown at Mississippi's oldest restaurant, Weidman's, since 1870.
Locally owned and operated for over 45 years, Battery One Source is your source for auto, motorcycle, marine, and lawn and garden batteries. But don't buy before you let them check your old battery. Absolutely free. If your golf cart needs to be repaired or maybe you want to add some accessories, Battery One Source does that too. And with over 20 years experience in cell phone repairs, they are your cell phone and iPad repair headquarters. Battery One Source, located at 2618 North Frontage Road, or call 601-693-1500.
In sports, the goal is to be the best. And the same is true for Alpha Insurance. We work to make every quote, claim, or call a highlight. And that's why customers consistently give Alpha high marks for service. Call Alpha and let us help you save on home, car, and life insurance. In Meridian, call your Alpha agent Will Sweat at 601-482-2385 or stop by our office at 2340 North Hill Street, Suite A.
In facial surgery, Meridian native Dr. Asif Lala has the experience and innovation to deliver expertise in wisdom teeth removal, dental implants, facial trauma treatment, Botox, TMJ, and more. For those who suffer from dental anxiety, they offer nitrous oxide sedation as well as intravenous general anesthesia within their state-of-the-art facility. East Mississippi Oral and Facial Surgery is located at 1212 24th Avenue in Meridian. To learn more or schedule a consultation, visit eastmsoralsurgery.com.
With one half in the books, let's check in with Lee and Clint for a review of the first 2 quarters and break down what the Knights need to be able to do to walk away with a win tonight in your official halftime show, powered by Alpha Insurance agent Will Sweat and Q101.
I'll tell you what, the last about a minute and 15 seconds of the first half was had about pretty much everything that you can imagine in a football game take place. We'll get you that information coming up in a matter of seconds, but we're going to take a step aside and actually have a little focus on the band. We're actually witnessing Newton County Cougars band at midfield currently as they are giving us the sounds. Turn that a little bit up, but we have Michelle Joyner joining us as we've been talking to her throughout the halftime shows here at the Kingdom, and we had Excalibur last week, and from what I understand, had a few teams join us and pretty good showing. So I'll let you have talk to us about that, but I know you got something exciting for tomorrow as well. So first of all, let's just revisit last weekend and the Excalibur and how it went.
Yes. Well, Excalibur, the weather could not have been more perfect. We had a great group of bands show up and compete, and we all had a lot of fun. The kids had a great time. It was great practice for all of us because tomorrow we all head up to Neshoba Central for the regional marching band evaluations for MHSAA, and tomorrow we'll decide who makes it to the state championship. And West Lauderdale's band has made it to the state championship for the last several years in a row, and their score has improved significantly each year they participate. So we're looking for a good showing from the Mighty Knight Band, and if you are a Newton County Cougar fan, their band will be performing 2 after West Lauderdale. So West Lauderdale will take the field at 3 o'clock tomorrow for regional evaluations, and then tomorrow night Neshoba Central hosts the Rocket Invitational, which is a competition, and West Lauderdale Mighty Knight Band will take the field at 8:15 then.
Wow. Okay.
So we have a full weekend. These kids are going to be here for the rest of the game tonight. They'll be here at 8 o'clock in the morning for a rehearsal, and then headed up to Neshoba around noon tomorrow to perform at 3 and again at 8:15. And so these kids are athletes, and they're putting in the work.
About last year, you talked about how they went on last year after their competition in Neshoba Central, and tell us the number that they finished last year.
I believe
didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Well, I believe they placed 5th last year. I mean, so the senior, and when he first started performing with them, the band had not made it to state championship for their class in like 20 years.
Oh wow!
And they made it to the state championship, and they placed really, almost dead last, I think. And then, but each year they went to from like 15th to 13th to 11th, and then last year I think they were 5th. And the different ensembles get scored too. So, our percussion group has scored really well. Our color guard won the gold medal at the Winter Guard International Indoor competition that they participate in every spring. So these kids are really working hard. We're super duper excited. We just got some new to us percussion equipment. We have the battery from the 2024 Boston Crusaders Drum and Bugle Corps.
Wow.
So we're really excited. These kids have been playing on drums that are, a couple of decades old and need, we're starting to show their age, and so the kids are super excited for the new equipment. We're really happy we were able to make that happen. And so we're looking forward to a really good time tomorrow, and I encourage everybody to come up to Neshoba Central and enjoy a day of music and fun, and support these bands that come out and support your football teams every week in and week out, because they're working hard, and they're performing, and they're athletes in all sense of the word.
I got to back you up on this. I get a chance to come out and watch the pep rallies every so often, and watching the drum line come out, and the entire band is great, but I'm just saying, when that drum line comes out, the atmosphere changes. It's something about that drum line.
Yes, the drum line brings it, and my kid plays tenor, and that's about 45 pounds of equipment he's toting. So you look at these kids toting 40, 45 pounds of stuff and marching, like the homecoming parade. Strap on an extra 45 pounds, march in time, keep a beat, play continuously, and do that for a couple of miles.
I got an extra 45 pounds, but I'm used to it.
No, you don't.
But again, thank you so much for visiting with us, Michelle. But tell them how they can help y'all out.
Yes, you can support the Mighty Knight Band by coming to the concession stand. We have lots of good food there. Pulled pork nachos are a hit. When I was down there a few minutes ago, we still had Chick-fil-A sandwiches. Probably next, I think we're going to have hot cocoa and coffee, because the next home game is probably going to be a little bit colder. But we've got a lot of good things going on down there, and that's how you can support your Mighty Knight Band. You can also just make donations if you want to by contacting the band program. You can find us on our Facebook page, WLHS Band. And just come out and support the bands and support music in general, because music is something these kids can do for the rest of their lives.
Thank you so much, Ms. Michelle.
Well, I'm going to get back and watch the game. It's an exciting game.
It is.
It's a one-score game, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens after these guys get back on the field.
All right, this is your Will Sweat Alpha Insurance Agent halftime show. Again, the score 13-6 in favor of the Knights. The Newton County Cougars will receive the football to begin the second half, and we'll be back with more information on the first half coming up after this. Again, it's West Lauderdale football, where the Knights have a 13-6 halftime lead. This is Q101.
Show your West Lauderdale spirit while benefiting the school with a School Spirit debit card from the Citizens Bank. Go Knights! Use your West Lauderdale School Spirit debit card as a credit transaction, and for every signature purchase, the Citizens Bank will donate 5 cents to the school. Boost your school spirit with every purchase by using your West Lauderdale School Spirit debit card from the Citizens Bank. See Mike Shelby and the staff in Collinsville at the Citizens Bank or call 601-626-7608. Member FDIC. Are you ready for some tailgating?
Down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Piggly Wiggly in Collinsville or Choctaw can do the cooking for all your tailgating this football season. Mouth-watering ribs and Boston butts are always available. If that's not enough, how about those delicious pulled pork sandwiches? For all your tailgating snacks, food, and drinks, shop with the great folks at Piggly Wiggly in Collinsville and Choctaw.
Down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Tired of wasting your Friday and Saturday nights at auctions? Skip the hassle and head to Parker's Wholesale, the biggest warehouse in Mississippi. Located in the big gold building in Moselle, Parker's has it all. Tools, clothing, fishing gear, tactical equipment, artificial flowers, you name it. Open 7 days a week. Why wait for the weekend when you can shop and save every day? And before you leave, don't forget to enter our $500 drawing. Parker's Wholesale, where big deals meet small town service.
Fall is here and 2810 has all of your fall flavors. Start your morning the right way with 2810 Coffee in Collinsville. We're serving up warm biscuits, fresh bagels, scones, cinnamon rolls, and of course, the perfect cup of coffee or latte to kickstart your day. We open bright and early, 6 a.m. weekdays, 7 a.m. Saturdays, right off Highway 19 North. Check out today's specials on Facebook or call or text your order to 769-526-8200. 2810 Coffee, your perfect cup is waiting.
30 years ago, we asked one simple question. What do you need from a mower that you cannot get today? The answer was the Exmark Laser Z, and it changed everything. The rest, as they say, is history. Visit your local dealer to learn more about the Laser Z.
Find out more at your local Exmark dealer. Available at Freeman Tractor, 11610 Highway 494 in Collinsville.
Attention savvy shoppers. Are you ready to unlock incredible savings and discover unique items? Come on down to Family Flea Market on B Street today. Dive into a vibrant world where bargains await at every turn. Vintage clothes, handmade crafts, one-of-a-kind antiques, and so much more. Don't miss out on jaw-dropping discounts and delightful finds that tell a story. Bring your friends and family for a fun-filled community experience supporting local vendors at Family Flea Market on B Street. Open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
In life, some things just go together, like a burger and fries and home and auto insurance from State Farm. Combine and save. In Meridian, talk to State Farm agent Chris McDonald today. Located at 4542 Poplar Springs Drive, call 601-483-7743 for a quote on auto, homeowners, condo, renters, personal articles, business, life, and health insurance. State Farm agent Chris McDonald is a proud supporter of the West Lauderdale Knight football team.
Go Knights!
Hello, this is Charles Frazier with Weidman's Restaurant. Historic downtown is booming, and we are proud to be a part of the economic revival. At Weidman's, you can enjoy Southern classics like shrimp and grits, fried green tomatoes, and black and redfish, or a boudin stuffed pork chop and USDA prime steak. We offer an extensive wine list and handcrafted cocktails, as well as a large selection of Mississippi beers. Come join us downtown at Mississippi's oldest restaurant, Weidman's, since 1870.
Now back to another quarter of West Lauderdale Night football, powered by All-Star Team Sports on Q101.
And welcome back to the halftime show. Again, the Knights have a 13-6 lead into halftime. Again, thanks to Will Sweat, Alpha Insurance agent. But the Knights had a little luck on their side just prior to halftime. I'm not going to say the tackle was lucky, but the Cougars were on the Knight 3-yard line, decided to run the football and attempt to at least have a chance to tie it up, and was stopped there at the line of scrimmage. A gentleman who'd been getting 5-6 yards a carry almost. But the Knights, again, stopped him prior to halftime and took a 13-6 lead. Now, again, Newton County will receive the football to begin the second half, but Knights and the Cougars defense has been back and forth throughout this football game. Knights have had a couple of touchdowns, one in the form of a 1-yard touchdown run by Cameron Vaughn, another one 56-yard touchdown run by Travion Mosley. But you take those 2 plays away, or that first drive and then the 56-yard touchdown run by Travion Mosley, Cougars have kind of held the Knights offense in check. The Knights gave up an 8-yard touchdown pass from Tully King, and that's where we stand, 13-6, and about 6 more minutes before halftime. But let's go over the first half stats. Here is Mr. Andrew. Andrew, what we got going on in the first half?
Yeah, well, you said it. West Lauderdale was doing pretty good on the run game that first half. They had 115 total yards there, and of that team, Travion Mosley had 98 of those. So 98 of those 115 yards on the running. Braylon Dixon had 13, and then Cameron Vaughn coming with 4. But on passing, they had 18 passing yards. So not too great on passing, but we saw a lot of running that first half. So maybe they'll keep it going. I don't know, on to the second half. But looking at Newton County stats, altogether they've got 116 running yards and 88 passing yards. So not too bad. They're moving the ball pretty well as well.
And most of those passing yards came.
Too bad. They're moving the ball pretty well as well.
And most of those passing yards came right there before halftime, where he had about the 50-yarder that came down just prior to halftime, got him down around the 3-yard line. But yeah, that's not too bad. Whenever you're saying you're holding a team that kind of went off on Northeast Lauderdale last week in the air.
Yeah, Tully King was at 89 passing yards. So he's throwing the ball very well this first half. But on the run game, Juan Brown, he had 84 yards carrying the ball.
And again, those are 5-6 yards a carry, wearing a defense out. We talked about it earlier. You gave the ball right back to them after you score that 56-yard touchdown pass, and that takes a toll on a defense where they're having to get right back on the football field, especially when you're taking on a pretty hefty-sized running back that's just running right at you.
Yeah, and Miles Mangum's right behind him with 55 yards. So they are absolutely running the ball phenomenal. But short yards, and they're just continuing that process on, and they're racking up some yards.
All right, thank you so very much, Andrew. We'll check back in with you at the end of the game.
Yep.
All right. Going over some scores from around the area. Of course, this is your scoreboard being brought to you by East Mississippi Oral and Facial Surgery. We are trying to get you some scores from around our district, Region 5 4A. But let's see if we can find you some of those scores as well as some of the area scores as well. One of them in particular is I am very intrigued in the Kosciuszko Whippet team, and they're actually leading Louisville Wildcats 14-8 currently. Well, that was a second quarter score. Lamar is down against Hartfield Academy 21-0. That was a halftime score. Neshoba Central and Greenville Weston 14-14. No score, at least I've not been able to find one yet for Choctaw Central and Northeast Lauderdale. Another score is Meridian and Pearl. How about this? Meridian 14, Pearl 0. Meridian again 14, Pearl 10, excuse me, I'm sorry. Let me correct that. Meridian 14, Pearl 10. I'm not so sure that many people thought about that before the game took place. Newton Tigers against Pelahatchie tonight. Pelahatchie 48, Newton Tigers 32. Raleigh and Forest. Raleigh 24, Forest Bearcats 12. One more for you. Winona and Noxubee County. Winona Tigers 6, Noxubee County 0. That's all I've got for you. I'm not able to. Okay, Leake Central. Leake Central is out of district play tonight, but they are taking on Scott Central. Scott Central 16, Leake Central 0. There you go. Turn your mic up. There you go.
Hey, St. Andrews playing Southeast Lauderdale. Don't have a score on that one yet, but one that is intriguing. We played them in the Jamboree beginning of the season. Clarkdale going to Union, another team we've already played this season. Union in the second quarter leading Clarkdale 18-7. And unfortunately, I know everybody listening waits with eager anticipation, but I don't have a score for Lawrence County tonight. They're playing South Pike out of Macomb, but I don't have a score for that one. When I get it, I'll give it to you.
All right, a game that took place last night, Lake over Puckett 36-0. And Nanawaya over Noxapater 41-16. Those are some scores from last night. And we'll try to get you some of the district scores. Northeast Lauderdale and Choctaw Central, we've yet to get that score. And then, of course, Leake Central is out of district tonight. So there you go. 40 seconds remaining before halftime ends as you're listening to the sounds of the Mighty Knight Marching Band. This is your halftime show being brought to you by Will Sweat, your Alpha Insurance agent. But let's just take some time to listen to the Mighty Knight Marching Band. For the Mighty Knight Marching Band. Understand that you found us a score for the, or at least a previous score for the Northeast Lauderdale and Choctaw Central.
Yeah, 11 minutes to go at the half. Choctaw leading Northeast 7-0. So a close game there. Senior night for the Trojans at Northeast Lauderdale.
Next week we'll be on the road to Leake Central, and then we'll be back here at the Kingdom
for our senior night.
Against Northeast Lauderdale. And then we'll wrap things up on the road against Choctaw Central. So there's the rest of the schedule. But always important to get the first win or first game that you play in district as a win, because you're in the driver's seat.
So Lee, your biggest takeaway of the first half, what you got? I'm going to put you on the spot.
The biggest takeaway, and I told you earlier that what we just witnessed prior to halftime could come back and be the play of the game, holding them out of the end zone. To end the first half, which, like I told you earlier, you always look at who's getting the football to begin the second half, because if you can put up points prior and put up points afterwards, that's what could be a 14-point swing within a matter of just a few seconds of gameplay, and to hold the Newton County Cougars out of the end zone, that could be very well the play of the game.
Yeah, you're absolutely not wrong, Lee. For me, and I'm going to pick on the defense in general, you've got a Newton County team that's averaging almost 30 points a game, that's being held at 6 points in the first half.
Okay.
You know, your offense is able to put some points on the board, not as many as we are traditionally accustomed to, and maybe not as many as we would like to see, but your defense really stepping up. They've given up some yards. We've seen them get into the red zone a few times, but keeping them out of the end zone for the most part. And like I said, this Newton County team is a good offensive team.
You look at the game, the first 24 minutes of the game, I think we only had, I could be wrong on this, but I think we only had one penalty during that first half, and that was a jump off false start to try to get the Knights a few more yards. I think it was 4th down at the time, and deep in your own territory, but I think that's the only penalty we've had.
Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking, I know the Cougars had a couple, but, I mean, even they didn't have that many. It's been a fairly clean game. You've had one turnover, a few penalties, but not a whole lot. I mean, the players themselves have pretty much been deciding the game, not the referees, and that's what you like to see.
I feel like Cameron Vaughn's going to come up with an interception in the second half. He's been close to 2. I think one's going to go in his, hopefully one will go in his mitts here in this next half, but something to look forward to. He's been close to the football. Defensively especially, but see if one can get in his mitts.
Well, I guess we'll find out here in just a couple minutes, because it looks like both teams have come out of the locker room. They've done their warm-ups. They're on the sideline. They're ready to go here.
All right, that is your halftime show being brought to you by Will Sweat, your Alpha Insurance agent. Of course, you just heard your scoreboard as well, being brought to you by East Mississippi Oral and Facial Surgery. And Clint, you are correct. Halftime is over.
Hey, Lee, before we jump into it, I don't know if we've mentioned this yet. Now, what about the baseball team out here before the game getting their state championship rings?
6:30 this evening. That is what happened. And who did they take on to win those?
In the North State Championship,
right.
Playing against Newton County. took it all the way to Game 3 in a 3-game series before our Knights were able to punch their ticket to Trustmark to get that state championship. And I think they couldn't decide a better game to present the rings than the Newton County football game.
From what we understand, what you may be asking the question, was it planned?
Yes.
I've been told the rings just came in.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Rudy Aguilar about to put toe to leather.
By the way, we talk about Rudy and his brother. Alex is the other Aguilar.
Alex hits it deep at the 18-yard line, goes to the far side of the football field, up to 25, 30, 35, 40, and it will be taken out of bounds just prior to midfield.
Yeah, right around the 48-yard line, Lee, I believe is where they're going to mark him out. Yeah, on the Cougar 48-yard line. That's where the Newton County Cougars will take over 1st and 10 to start this second half. If you're just joining us, a little bit of a defensive battle in the first half, 13-6. The Knights over the Cougars here early in the second half.
Cougars will break the huddle. Have a receiver on the far side, 2 to this near side. Not so sure that's Tully King in the backfield. I can't get his number to turn back toward me. Yep, that's Tully. Hands it off to Brown. Brown gets clotheslined at the line of scrimmage.
Gang tackled, and that's what we've been talking about. That it's going to take. He is a big, not to quote Miley Cyrus, but he's coming in like a wrecking ball every play. He is a lot of running back, and it's going to take more than one Knight to tackle him, and that's exactly what we had just then, a gang tackle to minimize the gain. It's going to be a 1-yard pickup, 2nd down and 9 on their own 49-yard line for the Cougars here.
Came in like a wreck. Sorry. 2 receivers this near side, 1 to the far side. Brown to the left of King. King gets rid of it to number 2 and eludes a tackler to the 40, to the 35, 30, out of bounds just outside the 25-yard line.
That's
out of bounds
Pruitt.
at 27.
That's Byron Pruitt, Lee, the senior wide receiver.
First down brought to you by 2810 Coffee.
We've got the roster here that Newton County sent us earlier this week. Unfortunately, we don't have the size, don't have the weight and height, but they've got some size in their skill position, Lee. Pruitt there, number 2. He's not a small wide receiver. He's a thick young man, and when you put the ball in his hands, he's going to come in hard.
Heavy side to the right. 3 receivers to that right-hand side, but Brown gets the carry. Brown goes right up the middle and gets inside the 25 to near about the 22.
Yeah, they're going to
get him. Actually, it's down at the 24-yard line.
Yeah, they're going to give him.
They spotted at 23.
Going to be, about a 4-yard pickup there?
Yeah. I still got wrecking ball in my head.
Yeah, it'll be there for the next 36 hours. You're welcome.
Again, the score 13-6 in favor of the Knights, but the Cougars threatening here. King in the shotgun formation does have Brown to his right, 3 receivers right as well. It's the Cougars moving right to left. Brown get the carry. Tully swings it out to his receiver number 3. Goes off to that far side, down inside the 15, near the 10, inside the 10. Let's see where the official marks him out of bounds.
Now they're going to mark him out, Lee, right around the 13, I believe.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's my bad.
No, far side of the field. It's a little bit of a distance for us. But that's going to bring up 1st down and 10 on the just over 10 minutes to play in the third quarter. In less than 2 minutes, Cougars have driven down deep into the red zone here.
That was number 8, Kellen Johnson, with a reception there. Another Brown carry.
Oh!
And Brown eludes a tackler in the backfield, but he gets hit hard and still on his feet, but he'll lose about a yard. Or did he get back to the line of scrimmage?
He got back close to the line of scrimmage, Lee. That may be about a half-yard loss, and that's what it is. But you're right, and this we've been talking about it. He got hit hard twice, but able to bounce off of him before a couple of Knights were able to bring him down.
A pinball machine back there.
Honestly, I don't know if you watched any of the Eagles-Giants game last night. It reminded me a lot of Cam Scattergood and how he ran against the Eagles last night.
2nd down and 11 after that loss. Back to the 14-yard line. They'll have 2 receivers to this near side, 1 to the far side for Tully King and the Cougars. Brown to the right. He sends number 3 in motion, but gives it to Brown. Brown gets up near the 10-yard line. Be a gain of 4 yards. 3rd down and 7. Got to believe it's 4-down territory for the Cougars. Ball is laying just on the outside probably a few inches prior to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, the Cougars have already gone for it a couple of different times tonight, Lee, so you got to think this is probably going to be 4-down territory. But if you're a Cougar fan listening, you're hoping it doesn't come to that. Us Knights, we are pulling for another loss of yardage and hopefully, forcing a fourth down.
King backpedals, looking to pass back to the corner of the end zone and overshoots his intended receiver. Brings up 4th down and 7.
Yeah, you could tell pretty much out of his hand that was going to be a D pass.
It's a big play here.
It is. There have been a couple of big plays here, and look and see who that is. They just brought in. Was that 44?
Eli Slay, a tight end, sophomore tight end. But they're bringing a jumbo package. Play clock down to 15.
Yeah, still plenty of time. They just broke the huddle. So
Brown is to the right of King. He has a receiver on each side of the field. Again, it's 4th down, a long 7
Heavy
for the
package.
Cougars. Tully rolls out to his right, still rolling, still looking. And he throws it off and makes the connection to Brown. Brown is and he's getting into the end zone. That was about as lucky as you could have gotten as far as getting the ball off, first of all.
Yeah, King was in the process of being sacked. Just kind of in literally the last second, recognizes Brown just kind of sitting there off to the side. It almost looked like a little underhanded shovel pass, like, here, I don't want this anymore. Able to score a touchdown with it.
A couple of passing touchdowns for the Cougars, a couple of rushing touchdowns for the Knights. Big extra point here. Do you go for 1, tie it up, or do you go for 2 and go ahead in this game? And they're going to go for 2
Yeah,
here.
they're leaving the traditional offense on the field.
King in the shotgun formation. Brown to his right, sending number 2 in motion, who's Pruitt, looking to pass in the end zone. He makes the connection, and he's going to get it. 2-point conversion is good. So the Cougars take their first lead of the night, 14-13 with 8:37 remaining here in the third quarter. We'll be back after this on Q101.
Locally owned and operated for over 45 years, Battery One Source is your source for auto, motorcycle, marine, and lawn and garden batteries. But don't buy before you let them check your old battery. Absolutely free. If your golf cart needs to be repaired or maybe you want to add some accessories, Battery One Source does that too. And with over 20 years experience in cell phone repairs, they are your cell phone and iPad repair headquarters. Battery One Source, located at 2618 North Frontage Road, or call 601-693-1500.
Now back to another quarter of West Lauderdale Night Football, powered by All-Star Team Sports on Q101.
8:37 remaining here in the third quarter, and that particular drive was Juan Brown. Got the reception for the touchdown. Now the Cougars lead 14-13. I think a very important drive for the Knights. Definitely not going to win or lose the game, but right now a little momentum is in this.
Again, I'm trying to figure out why we had the referees huddling together on a kickoff. Was there a flag? No.
No flag.
Now there's a flag. They have too many men on the field? Delay. Oh. Huh. They called a false start against the kick team.
Okay. Well, that penalty brought to you by Chris McDonald, State Farm Insurance agent. Waiting the kick. There we go. Going right down the middle of the field. It's down to the 20, up to 25, 30, 35, down around the 37, maybe 38-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to put it on the 38, Lee, which is where the Knights will take over 1st and 10 with their first drive of the second half. Going to try to match the touchdown that the Cougars were able to find on their first drive.
Yeah, you take away that first drive of the football game for the Knights. Knights were able to move the football down the field, but other than that drive, you have two scores up there, but the other drive was basically a play for 56 yards. The Cougars have really held the Knights in check as far as offensively.
Yeah, you go into the half, you try to make some adjustments, figure out what's working, what's not, and we'll see what we're able to do here coming out.
Vaughn, receiver to the right, and Moore to the left, and handoff to Mosley. Mosley goes up the middle for maybe 5-yard pickup.
Yeah, this has just been ooh, we got one Cougar. It looks like he lost his helmet.
There is a flag at the 43-yard line, sponsored by Chris McDonald, State Farm Insurance Agent. Not sure what the flag was, unless there was a hold in the middle of the field or a face mask, hands to the face.
That was Jawan Brown, number 0, again playing defense.
Still not seen a signal.
But they're pointing against the Cougars. But you're right, he has not signaled exactly what the penalty is. They're marking it off against the Cougars.
It's a 5-yard penalty.
5-yard face mask against the Cougars. So it was one of those, the hand grazed it, didn't grab and twist. And so that is the penalty yardage will give them enough for a first down. So first down for the Knights on their own 48-yard line.
Knights rush to the line of scrimmage. Quick snap. Braylon Dixon is your quarterback. He keeps the football, tries to find a lane before getting hit out of bounds. Late flag. It's going to be a late hit penalty.
I believe that's going to be a late hit against the Cougars, but we're going to see here, the run itself was just about a 4-yard carry.
Definitely a late hit out of bounds, but that'll give the Knights another first down. Being brought to you by 2810 flag on the play, sponsored by Chris McDonald, State Farm.
No, it was a face mask. It wasn't a late hit.
Okay.
Personal foul face mask. They given him credit for a 2-yard carry up to the 50-yard line. Then they marked off another 15. So the Knights getting a little help from the Cougars, a little undisciplined. That's 2 back-to-back face mask penalties. So the Knights will have the ball now on the Cougar 35-yard line, first down.
Mosley switches from the backfield to wide receiver. He's wide right. That's more to the left. Cameron Vaughn gets the handoff, and Vaughn goes to that far side, and not much there for Vaughn.
Yeah, only about a yard. That was a lot of white there waiting on him. So, yeah, they're only going to give him credit for a 1-yard carry, Lee.
So 2nd down and 9 for the Knights. Vaughn come off to the sideline. Hank Purvis comes in. Tight end to the left side. Zayden Moore switches sides to the right-hand side. He's the lone receiver on the field. 2nd down and 9 for Dixon. Dixon hands off to Mosley, and they knew exactly what was coming as they were meeting him in the backfield. That'll be a 2-yard loss.
You had about 7 or 8 of the Newton County defensive players that were playing a run defense. They were shooting into that immediately, and yeah, so a 1-yard loss after a 1-yard gain, so this is going to bring up 3rd down in about 10.5, actually.
So I know it's according to what you can get on this play, but do you feel like this is 4-down territory for the Knights?
It's still early enough in the game that you don't have to, but being in this position, I think you're out of field goal range. You don't want to punt it.
Dixon, handoff to Mosley. Mosley goes to that far side. Mosley is not going to get it. He may get 2 yards, possibly a short 3, but that might have made your mind up, too, as far as 4th down now, 4th down and 9.
Offense is still on the field. I don't see an Aguilar coming out to punt it away. And like I said, this would be about a 50-yard field goal, and I don't know that he has the leg. So, yeah, Cameron Vaughn checking back in, excuse me. So you're going to have a couple of receivers on the near side. You got to think it's a passing situation, as I'm looking at a lot more defensive backs on the field right now for the Cougars.
2 receivers right for the Knights. Dixon almost gets a Cougar to jump. Gets back. Again, 4th down and 9. Clock's at 6:03. Braylon Dixon rolls out to his right, looking for a receiver, throws, and he makes the completion.
Caught the ball.
makes the completion, but is it out of bounds? They're going to say he did catch it at the 20, inside the 20 actually, and that'll be it. No, now they're coming in saying incomplete. It was out of bounds.
The FAR referee had a better angle. I'll give it to him, and he says that he caught it out of bounds. So that's going to be a turnover on downs. I believe. No.
Well, now there's. Okay, there's discussion, I guess, on the field between refs. They are saying it was out of bounds. All right, okay. So the Cougars will take over on their own 34-yard line with 5:56 remaining. 1 point advantage for the Cougars, 14-13. Knights had a 13-6 lead at the half, but the Cougars on their first drive from half scored. Now with their second possession on their own 34-yard line. We'll have one receiver to the far side, two receivers to the far side, excuse me, for Tully King. King will hand off to Brown. Brown goes up the middle, and Brown's corralled after about a yard pickup, maybe just about a half yard.
Yeah, he didn't pick up much at all in that league. Great job by the defense to just corral him, to gang tackle him, and not give up anything after contact. Yeah, he got less than a yard.
Second down, 9 to go. They'll move those receivers to this near side for King. Brown is to his left. Tully looking to throw. He finds a connection. Number 8 gets it off to the 45 near midfield. That'll be a first down for the Cougars.
Yeah, that's Kellen Johnson, senior wide receiver number 8. He's got a couple of different receptions tonight. So just kind of being Johnny on the spot from whenever King is looking for that open receiver.
First down sponsored by 2810 Coffee.
King checking out of the game. Miles Mangum coming in. Typically in this situation, you're going to see Brown taking the snap and Mangum playing the role of the running back.
Mangum's tied against that offensive line to the right-hand side, but he'll come back to this near side. Brown takes it himself, and he's met, but still falls forward, but he'll get stopped in the backfield for a yard loss.
Again, the defense recognizing that whenever Brown is taking that direct snap, I mean, they're not respecting his ability to pass it at all. And honestly, he hasn't shown an ability to pass it, so you appreciate that. But either way, that's going to bring up, you're rightly, a loss of yard, singular, second down and 11.
Clock's at 4 minutes, 10 seconds in the third quarter. Cougars lead 14-13. Two receivers right, one receiver left for Tully King, who's back in the game. Tully rolls out to his right, bootleg pass, finds a connection with his receiver, number 3. He's going to be close to the first down marker, and that is Kane Bell. Going to be about a yard shy, maybe 2 of the first down, and those little sideline passes have been eating up the Knights.
Yeah, nothing deep really outside of that one pass at the very end of the half. Everything's been, 4 or 5 yards downfield and just expecting your guys to pick up a few yards after the catch. But, yeah, third down and 2 here for the Cougars.
King takes a snap. No, that's Brown. Brown's going to take the snap, get a first down. Still on his feet inside the 40.
Yeah, he just kind of wrecking balled his way for about a 5-yard gain.
Right now, the Knights defense just does not have an answer for this Newton County Cougar offense. The ball is placed just on the inside of the 40. It's another first down, sponsored by 2810 Coffee.
And Miles Mangum checking out of the game. Tully King coming back in.
It's just drawing a lot of confusion. Snap. King rolls back, looking to pass deep. He is throwing deep, and does he? Oh, and Cameron Vaughn went up for the pass to intercept it and was basically brought down. I'm not so sure why that was not defensive pass interference.
Yeah, what you saw there, and again, I can't quite make out the
offensive pass interference.
Yeah, I can't quite make out the number, but the wide receiver basically turned into a defensive back there. King throwing it into double coverage that potentially could have been an interception. However, credit where credit's due. Wide receiver able to knock the ball away to force an incompletion.
2:48 remains here in the third quarter. Again, Cougars lead 14-13.
Again, that was number 8, Keelan Jones, the receiver he was trying to connect with.
He is wide left. It's Cougars moving right to left. Carry goes to Juan Brown. Brown is still on his feet. Another first down for Brown. Man, Knights do not have an answer for him.
Yeah, he picked up where they marked that ball right.
Needed 10 yards. That's what he got.
Yeah, picked up literally 10 yards and about 8 inches. So just inside the 30-yard line.
It's about a football length inside the 30, and that's what they really needed. So, yeah, they're signaling for the first down. Knights need a takeaway here. Cougars break huddle with a receiver on each side of the field for King. King will turn around and put it in the belly of Brown. Brown goes off to that far side. Brown's going to be near the 25-yard line. Gain of a 4, maybe 4.5.
Yeah, I don't have his stats in front of me as to what he has done so far this season, but he is a difficult running back to bring down. And like I said, you've got a lot of upperclassmen leadership on this team as well, especially within the skill position players. I mean, pretty much every number that we've called outside of Tully King is a senior this year.
Second down, 6. Looking to pass is Tully. Incomplete, excuse me.
A little bit of a high pass. It was meant for Byron Pruitt, but a high pass off the outstretched hands is going to bring up an incompletion. Third down and 5.5, give or take, for the Cougars here on the West Lauderdale Knight 25-yard line.
Ball is just placed on the outside. 1:42 left. 14-13 is your score. Cougars was down 13-6 at the half, and the Knights just gave them 5 yards.
Yeah, again, trying to shoot the gap, trying to time the snap, and
those, you said it, trying to time out a blitz. If it works, great. If not, we just saw it. That penalty brought to you by State Farm Insurance agent Chris McDonald puts the ball just on the outside of the 20-yard line. Third down, short 1 to go. Juan Brown is going to take your direct snap. Brown takes it, goes right up the middle, and gets the first down. Brought to you by 2810 Coffee. They'll put it down around the 18-yard line.
Again, the Cougars just having all kinds of success here in the second half, moving the ball down the field. They have pretty much owned the time of possession here in this third quarter.
Two receivers to this near side. Tight receiver said it that much. Late flag comes in. Early movement against the Cougars. That'll push them back 5 yards. That penalty is brought to you by Chris McDonald, State Farm Insurance agent. 1:06 remains here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I didn't see the movement, but somebody just got a little antsy there on that offensive line. I'm picking on the line. It could have been one of the receivers. We have no idea. But either way, first down and 15 for the Cougars here.
Tully King backpedals, looking to pass to that right-hand side. Throws, makes the connection, or does he? Is it complete?
They're going to say he caught it out of bounds.
Going to bring up second down and 15. Clock's at 1 minute now in the third quarter. Cougars moving right to left as this ball is spotted at the 23-yard line. Two receivers to that far side for Tully King. Does have Juan Brown to his right. Brown will get the carry, and he is met, but he still goes forward.
Yeah, able
back
to
up
fight
to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, able to fight through that initial tackler there in the backfield, and gets.
Are they actually lost a yard?
Yeah, I don't. They haven't moved that ball marker yet.
No, they're going to put it right back
back on the
Yeah, able to fight back to the line of scrimmage, but still 3rd and long here for the Cougars, 3rd and 15. All on the West Lauderdale Knight 23-yard line. So big play here for the Knights to try to keep them out of the end zone.
They've been constantly going to that sideline throw. You got to look out for that right here, especially Kellen Johnson is to this near side. And Tully looking to throw. He makes the connection, almost interception. Actually, S.J. Cole, if he would have looked up a little bit prior, he probably would have had him an interception there.
Yeah, that pass was intended for Campbell, but ball is incomplete to bring up 4th and long, 4th and 15. And maybe the field goal team coming out. It's a long way to go. Obviously, you're not going to punt it from the opponent's 23-yard line.
See number 20 checking into the game. Not seen him come in yet for offense.
He's a wide receiver. That's Cohen Liggett coming in, junior wide receiver.
Kellen Johnson is in the slot, so you got to be careful with him. To this near side. Does have a receiver to the far side as well. 4th down, 15. Tully looking to pass. And is it in? No, it's picked. Not. Probably best he did not pick it off.
Yeah.
As the Knights will take it over on the 23-yard line.
It looked like the intended receiver might have slipped down there, Lee. Maybe not all the way, but definitely stumbled. So he was trying to keep his balance when the ball just kind of flew past him. So the Knights able to keep the Cougars out of the end zone there after a pretty good drive. So they'll take over 1st and 10 on their own 23-yard line.
12.3 seconds remain in the 3rd quarter.
The Knights offense on the first drive here in the 2nd half had a lot of help from some penalty defense. Going to see if they can get the little momentum of their own here.
Zayden Moore going in motion. He'll get the carry. Comes to this near side. Has a couple. Thought he had a lead blocker, but did not go anywhere. Might have got a yard on that, but Zayden Moore got eat up after that 1-yard carry.
Yeah, that was number 2 that came in. That was Byron Pruitt, plays safety and just came in and laid the lumber on Zay there for him.
Last play of the 3rd quarter. We'll step aside, hold those 4 fingers up. Need a little offensive action as we start the 4th quarter. We'll be back after 30 seconds as we have the final moments of this football game. 14-13 in favor of Newton County. We'll be back on Q101.
In sports, the goal is to be the best. And the same is true for Alpha Insurance. We work to make every quote, claim, or call a highlight. Customers consist 2385 or stop by our office at 2340 North Hill Street, Suite A.
Now back to another quarter of West Lauderdale Night Football, powered by All-Star Team Sports on Q101.
Well, 4th quarter is here. The Knights down by 1, 14-13. It's been a defensive battle for both squads here who've been putting up some points.
So Zay Moore ran the jet sweep there to end the 3rd quarter. Looks like they did give him credit for about 1 yard lead before he got popped. So it's going to be 2nd down and 9 here for the Knights to start the 4th quarter.
Knights moving right to left. Dixon hands off to Travion Mosley. Mosley makes a couple of guys miss. He stays on his feet, but then gets tripped up around the 33, 34-yard line. That's his biggest carry since he toted the rock 56 yards for a touchdown.
Big run there to pick up a much-needed 1st down.
Knights back on the line of scrimmage here, kind of trying to catch the Cougars off balance here. Hands off again to Mosley. Mosley comes to this near side, finds a lane. Off balance here. Hands off again to Mosley. Mosley comes to this near side, finds a lane, and he's up to the 45. Tries to elude one tackler, but he ends up going out of bounds to the 49-yard line.
First down, though, Lee.
Yeah, I love what the Knights did. You go no huddle and you go quick back up to the line of scrimmage, which you don't see many high school teams huddle up anymore, but you're back on the line of scrimmage quick, not allowing many times another person to sub in or out, but still you had a lot of defensive players out of place. 2 receivers that far side for the Knights. That first down brought to you by 2810 Coffee. Braylon Dixon going to be a quarterback keeper, goes to that far side. Braylon Dixon inside the Cougar territory to the 45 to the 42-yard line.
Yeah, he's going to be close. He's going to be about a yard.
Pistol formation for Dixon. Dixon will hand off to Mosley. Mosley goes right up the middle and that gets you the first down. And why run up the middle? And here's the answer. You're in the fourth quarter. Those defensive linemen are getting tired. You run up the middle and up the gut so many times. You're starting to see some defensive linemen, especially those defensive tackles and defensive ends, have their hand on their hips. Eventually, they're not going to want to get hit up the middle again.
Well, even beyond that, number one, Logan Evans, linebacker for the Cougars. I mean, he was slow to get up just then, not because he was injured, just because he was trying to catch his breath a little bit.
Mosley to the right of Dixon. And Mosley gets the carry and gets hit in the backfield. And I'm not so sure why the penalty wasn't called, because he was he was pulling on his helmet.
Well, even beyond that, I mean, we're in a enclosed box in the press box. I heard the whistle blowing for 2-3 seconds, and then Mosley gets slammed to the ground.
It'll be second down and 11 after that 1 yard loss.
The fans were calling for it. The coaches were calling for it. I felt like everybody saw that except the official back there.
Knights will have two receivers to the far side again on the 41-yard line of the Cougars. Dixon wants to swing it out to Cameron Vaughn. Vaughn to the 40, inside the 40, inside the 30, around the 35-yard line.
Yeah, he was able to make a couple guys miss to bring up third down and manageable. Third down and about 4, maybe 5.
Yeah, ball is just on the inside of the 35-yard line, about halfway in between the 35 and 34.
And needing to get down.
We have a down Knight.
Yeah. Is that Vaughn that's still down?
Yep.
Yeah, he's up, but he's limping his way off the field.
Third down and 4 for the Knights. S.J. Cole checks in for Vaughn. Definitely 4-down territory for the Knights. 9 minutes, 30 seconds remain in this football game. Knights down by 1. Knights had a 13-6 lead coming out of halftime. Cougars scored on their first drive from halftime to make it 14-13. They did go for 2 to go up by 1. And the way the Cougars have been driving,
I mean, it's absolutely 4-down territory.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Third down 4. Here we go. Braylon Dixon has Mosley. Mosley gets the carry. Mosley does he get it? He's going to be close.
I think forward progress gets him right to the 30-yard line, which is where he had to get, and that's where they're going to mark it down, Lee. I believe they're going to give him the first down.
They haven't made a signal yet. Will they measure?
First down.
It is first down. First down brought to you by 2810 Coffee.
Great run by Mosley. Good job by the offensive line to clear a path for him to get the 5 yards needed.
And the Knights moving right to left. S.J. Cole wide left. Zayden Moore is in the flats back there on the opposite side, but he's going in motion. Jet sweep going to Moore. They knew exactly what was coming. He'll lose about a yard, maybe about just a half a yard.
13, West Lauderdale 13.
Knights are slowing things down now, other than quick back to the line of scrimmage. Second down 11 for the Knights. Braylon Dixon short snap, and Zayden Moore gets eat up in the backfield. It's going to be about a 5-yard loss, and that's definitely not what you would want to have happen.
It's meant to be quick release, quick pass out there, and with that low snap, it took him a little longer than you'd want to be able to corral it. And by that time, the defensive backs recognized that Zay Moore was just kind of hanging out there waiting on the pass, and they were able to shoot back there and get him down quick.
Two receivers to this near side. Pistol formation for the Knights. Braylon Dixon looking to pass, throws left. Got his receiver S.J. Cole, and S.J. was down on his knees when he made the reception. Gets up to the 29-yard line, so it's going to bring up 4th down and 9.
So very similar to what we saw on the Cougars last drive. Able to get downfield, but getting close to that red zone, facing a 4th and pretty long here. Still no Kem Vaughn out on the field after he went down on the injury, favoring, I believe, that right leg.
Huge play for the Knights. 4th down and 9. You'll have those two receivers to the far side. Mosley goes out in motion and looking to be a receiver. And he gets clotheslined. Braylon Dixon. Flag comes in. That may be That may be face mask.
Yeah, the Cougars over there celebrating. They have no idea the penalty came in.
Braylon Dixon gets taken down in the backfield. Not sure what was called, but his hands were definitely in the face of Braylon Dixon. That penalty brought to you by Chris McDonald, State Farm Insurance Agent. Still awaiting the actual penalty call.
Big penalty here.
Yeah.
It's going against the Cougars.
It's going to be marked off from the 33-yard line. And this is going to go all the way to the Cougar 18-yard line.
Yeah, that's a personal foul. Looks like either a face mask or a horse collar, Lee. Yeah, face mask against the Cougars as they had the stop. They had a sack on 4th down. Unfortunately, hands get up around the face mask, bring him down. Again, penalties helping our Knights here in the second half.
First down and 10 inside the red zone now. 2 receivers to the far side. Braylon Dixon handoff to Mosley. Mosley inside the right at the 15-yard line, a gain of 3. And now you're inside the red zone to the 15-yard line. You want to take off as much time as you can.
Well, and you're also within Aguilar's distance now, so if you catch another 4th and long, again, you're in a position where you obviously want to get it in the end zone, go for 2, try to make it a 7-point game, but at this point, any points is what you're going to get.
Clock's at 6:05. Again, the Cougars lead 14-13. Second down and 7. Braylon Dixon, quarterback keeper, gets inside just about a yard.
Yeah, just not a whole lot there, Lee. They're shooting the gaps and blitzing the linebackers, anticipating runs until you actually have to throw the ball.
3rd and 6. Yes, again, according to what happens on this play, it's what do you do? I think there's plenty of time left on the clock, and you also have your 3 timeouts. Same formation for the Knights. Dixon rolls out to his right. Throws to Zayden Morton. It gets knocked away. It's going to bring up 4th down and 6. Decision time for Coach Brock Clay.
Looks like he's leaving the offense out there. They're going to go for it here on 4th and 6. Try to pick up the first down.
An incomplete pass, stops the clock with 5 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the football game. Again, the Knights down by 1 point. Offensive coordinator Daniel Knox calling the play in.
Play clock down to about 10 seconds.
They have to take a timeout here.
Well, I hope not, but you got 5 left on the play clock.
And they end up taking a timeout. We'll stay here in action. Again, 5 minutes, 12 seconds remain. 14-13 is your score. Not sure if there was confusion or if they were trying to see what formation the defense was going to give them.
Well, you hate burning a timeout there, Lee, because if you don't pick it up, you trust your defense at this point to keep them out of the end zone. They've done a pretty good job of that tonight, but you don't really – they've gotten a lot of yardage several times getting it down close to the red zone or in the red zone before they force the turnover on downs. And if you turn it over on downs here with 5 minutes left to go in the game, you've got to be able to preserve as much clock as you can. And Juan Brown has had a lot of success picking up 4, 5, 6 yards a carry.
And you may end up having to get back on defense without Cameron Vaughn.
Yeah, still not back on the field.
All right, here we go. They send out Rudy Aguilar. Rudy is going to be kicking
from the 22. That's going to be, about a 32-yard field goal?
It'll be from the left hash mark. Waiting the snap. There's a snap. Good snap. Hold us down. Kick is up. Got plenty of leg. And it's good.
Oh, yeah, that'd have been good for another 15 yards.
16-14 is the score. Rudy Aguilar, and I believe that is his first kick other than a PAT of the year. Got to thank our sponsor for that. If I can find field goal. Freeman Tractor. 16-14 is the score. We're going to stay right here in action because the Cougars already on kickoff return, but good job, Rudy Aguilar. 32-yard kick for Rudy.
Yeah, Aguilar about to come right back out here again. Try to pin him deep on the kickoff. But, we called this at the beginning. Coach Clay was all over this. So this was going to be a dogfight. It was going to be a close game. Both teams pretty evenly matched on paper. And this is a game we were anticipating, and this is a game we got.
Mm-hmm. Cougars will have number 2, who is Byron Pruitt.
Both Aguilars over there talking to the referee for some reason. The Aguilar.
The last kickoff, I believe.
Alex. Yeah, Alex, the younger Aguilar, kicked it. And normally if he's putting toe to leather, he's going to do more of a pooch kick.
Mm-hmm.
But he kicked it deep last time.
Again, Knights lead. 6 Knights can put up a stop. Maybe take the ball away.
Cameron Vaughn coming back out on the field.
Oh, I'm looking at one of our defensive linemen not even making it to the line of scrimmage. He's cramping up on his left leg, and they're going to.
Yeah, he's down. They're going to have to. Yeah, he was coming out. You got a referee over there trying to stretch him out.
Usually don't see, but problem, your Knights offense field for some time.
Yeah.
And you have the cooler weather. You come out, start making a motion, and
well,
that's just what happens.
It happens at any point. He tried to come. He tried to come on the field. He recognized the cramp. He tried to come off the field and just was not able to make it. But I mentioned this before we talked about the Knight going down cramping. Cameron Vaughn hurt on offense. A couple of able to come back out
to tape up your back, your back heel and foot there. You cannot move that thing for nothing.
Oh, I know. I've been there.
Once again, in an injury timeout, score 16-14 in favor of the Knights. The Knights got a 32-yard field goal by Rudy Aguilar just a few moments ago to go ahead by 2. But looking at who's coming off the field, that's DeAndre Taylor.
Yes,
but that's one of your big cogs in the middle, who Brown is already probably licking his chops, ready to saying, all right, it's going to be put on my back now. And that's going to make the inside of the defensive line look more appetizing for Juan Brown. First down and 10 for the Cougars at their own 45. Tully King will hand off a jet sweep, comes this near side, and he gets hit maybe about a yard and maybe 2.
I think they're going to give him, 2.
Is that Pruitt?
Close to a 3-yard gain, Lee. Boss.
2 receivers to this near side, 1 to the far side for King. King takes the snap, hands it off to Brown. Brown crosses into Knight territory. It'll bring up 3rd down, however. 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, they're going to mark him between the 50 and 49 on the Knight side of the 50. Needing to get down close to the 45. Maybe a half a football length before you get to the 45. So that's going to be about a 4.5 yards they need to get.
Knights with a 2-point lead, 16-14. 4 minutes left in the contest here in Region 5 4A action. The Cougars already lead the division as they defeated Northeast Lauderdale last week. This is the first division game for the Knights. 3rd down and 4 for the Cougars, who are on the Knight 49-yard line. Tully looking to pass, makes the connection in the flats there. Number 1, who's seeing the first action of the game as far as making and he's still on his feet, goes out of bounds around the 35-yard line. Logan Evans.
Yeah, Evans predominantly focusing on the defensive side of the ball. He is listed as a potential running back, though. Slipped out of the backfield, making that catch. Big first down for the Cougars as they get down to the Knight 36-yard line.
It's first down and 10. 3:22. 16-14 in favor of the Knights, but the Cougars entering their way closer into Knight territory. Tully King looking to pass, makes his connection to the 35, and he's down inside the 30, inside the 25, and he's out of bounds around the 20. Cameron Vaughn, they're going to say he went out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Clock was continuing to move. It's at 2:58 now with the ball spotted at the 21-yard line. And now, if they're the Cougars, you're getting yourself closer into, or may already be in, field goal territory.
But again, you got 3 minutes. The Cougars are going to try to put this one in the end zone. They're going to try to do it as slow as possible to leave the Knights with as little amount of time as they can.
Tully King looking to roll left. Still looking, got a receiver, and overshoots his intended receiver. I believe that was number 8, Kellen Johnson.
Yeah, that may have been him throwing the ball away.
Yeah.
I mean, he sailed that.
So 2nd and 10 from the 21-yard line. The only time the Cougars have kicked tonight, they had a bad snap and it was a no good point after touchdown. Went for 2 on their second touchdown. Juan Brown in the game is the quarterback. And he will keep it himself, go right up the middle. Bounce to the 15, to the 10, cuts back inside the 5. All the way down to the 4-yard line.
A little bit of a counter there. A heavy package on the left side of the offensive line. Fakes the jet sweep, runs it to the right away from where the defenders were lined up, and able to pick up big yardage there to get a 1st and goal on the Knight 5-yard line.
First down sponsored by 2810 Coffee, and the Cougars rush up to the line of scrimmage. Mangum back in the game, but Brown remains as quarterback. Brown takes it himself, wasn't ready for the football, but gets up to the 4-yard line before being pushed back. He almost got caught off guard with the football.
Yeah, I think the center may have jumped the gun because the offensive line weren't ready either. Nobody really fired off on that, and Brown lucky to pick up 1 yard to bring up 2nd down and goal. As this clock is running, and if you're Coach Clay, at what point do you consider running timeouts to preserve a little clock if you need it?
Clock's at 2:03. Again, the Knights have a 2-point advantage, 16-14, but the Cougars are 4 yards out. Number 2 is in the game as the quarterback.
We're going to have a timeout here.
Byron Pruitt.
That's going to be the Cougars, I believe, took it. Yeah.
We'll step aside as well. 1:52 remaining. Once again, Knights lead 16-14, but the Cougars are threatening on the 4-yard line. We'll be back after this on Q101.
At East Mississippi Oral and Facial Surgery, Meridian native Dr. Asif Lala has the experience and innovation to deliver expertise in wisdom teeth removal, dental implants, facial trauma treatment, Botox, TMJ, and more. For those who suffer from dental anxiety, they offer nitrous oxide sedation as well as intravenous general anesthesia within their state-of-the-art facility. East Mississippi Oral and Facial Surgery is located at 1212 24th Avenue in Meridian. To learn more or schedule a consultation, visit eastmsoralsurgery.com.
This quarter of West Lauderdale Night Football is powered by All-Star Team Sports on Q101.
Closing moments of tonight's Region 5 4A action. 1:52 remains. 16-14 is the score, as West Lauderdale has a 2-point advantage. However, the Cougars on the Knight 4-yard line. There's a snap. Number 2 goes off to that far side, and he's going to go in the end zone.
Yeah, able to bounce that outside and past the left side of the offensive line. Able to punch it in the end zone.
It's Byron Pruitt, and that score is brought to you by Parker's Wholesale. The score is now 20-16 in favor of the Cougars.
I believe the offense is going to stay on the field here as the Cougars go for 2.
Well, they know we've had an issue tonight as well, kicking an extra point.
Well, if you're on the Cougar side, there's really no difference between being up by 4 or being up by 5. Now, if you're up by 6, you know, that can help. So
Pruitt remains as the quarterback, and reverse here for the Cougars.
Big stiff
and
arm.
he gets to the 5, and he gets in the end zone. So it will be 6-point advantage for the Cougars with 1:46 remaining. The Cougars, look at the fans. You look at they have not beat the West Lauderdale Knights 8 years.
10 years since 2015. 8 games for 10 years.
So you know that they are feeling a little excitement over there in the orange uniforms and the stands across the way. Knights, however, I believe have 2 timeouts and 1:46
Yeah,
to get them a touchdown.
They took the one timeout prior to kicking the field goal earlier. So,
and if you're the Cougars, what do you do here on kickoff?
You kick it deep and trust your defense. I say that with the confidence of a man who's never coached high school football. So.
You have multiple return men on this football return team. However, one's kind of hobbling a little bit in the form of a 1-2 down there, Cameron Vaughn. But you have Zayden Moore that's across the way, who's not back deep like he normally is. He is around the 35-yard line. And you also got to look out. I mean, I know you don't want to give a short field, but I mean, do you even think about putting the ball on the ground?
Oh, no.
Okay. Travion Mosley is standing at his 15-yard line across the way, but I don't think you kick it to him either. Here's the kick. Line drive kick. Travion Mosley still having trouble with the football. He's going to go down on the 14-yard line. Wow.
Yeah, just a low line drive kick, unable to corral the ball until the very last second.
Mm-hmm.
Just jumps on it to maintain the possession. But you're right, Lee. They're going to have to go 86 yards, 37 seconds.
Or was that Davion Grace? No, it's Travion? Okay. Well, the Cougars, I'm pretty sure 11 orange helmets will be glued on number 6. So if you have a decoy of any form, now's the time to use it. 2 receivers this near side, 1 to the far side for Braylon Dixon. Throws off to that far side. That's S.J. Cole. Short yards, about 3 yards maybe.
Yeah, tackled immediately after the reception. And what you're seeing is the Cougars playing a pretty good cushion, with the defensive backs. They're willing to give up short receptions because that's going to burn clock and burn seconds that the Knights really don't have to give up.
Same formation for the Knights. Dixon looks to throw. Throws off, and almost picked off. Dangerous throw. He took way too much time in that backfield to look down his receiver and throw it. That will stop the clock, though. 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, Cougars have burned about 28 seconds and picked up 3 yards so far.
Knights down by 6, 22-16 with 1 minute, 9 seconds remaining. 2 receivers near side, 1 to the far side. Going in motion is Mosley. Braylon Dixon backpedals, looking to throw deep. Got Zayden Moore, but overshoots his intended receiver. And the Knights are down to their final play, or at least in 4th down.
Ball game on the line here. 4th down and 7, and like I said, the Cougars know the Knights are having a pass, and so you've got safeties playing deep, to protect against a deep pass, very much like what the Knights just try to complete.
Do you have a safe screen pass to get you 7 yards?
It's tough.
Yeah. Here we go. 4th down, 7. Game on the line. Dixon rolls out to his left, looking to pass. Throwing deep. Got Cameron Vaughn. Incomplete pass. And that will be the ball game. Knights do have 2 timeouts, but they'll turn the ball over at the 17-yard line.
Yeah, the Cougars are going to be able to kneel the game out here.
Knights will fall to 0-1 in district play for the first time. I don't know. You'd have to go in the record books to find that.
I was going to say, longer than since I've been in the broadcast booth.
Cougars actually huddling up at the 25-yard line. And barring why wouldn't you do anything but a victory formation?
Yeah, and that looks like what they're lining up in right now, Lee.
No, they're running a play. Juan Brown takes the snap, gets to the 15-yard line. What do you think about that? And hang on. I mean, points are important in district play. Timeout, West Lauderdale. We'll stay here in action. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 8. The ball is laying on the outside of the 15-yard line. But such an important game.
Yeah, but more important than points are wins and losses.
Right.
So I don't know why you would take a chance on fumbling the ball, putting it on the ground, which he's done once already tonight, when you could just kneel it out.
Right. 6.2 seconds remain. Knights had a 13-6 halftime lead. Newton County came roaring back in the second half, 22-16. Again, second down and 8. Cougars have the ball at the 15-yard line. And now what looks to be victory formation. There's a snap, kneel down around the 21-yard line. They'll have to do it one more time. Knights will.
Yeah, the Knights called the timeout. They've burned. That clock ran for about another 7 seconds after they called the timeout.
And they're not so sure that they caught that, though.
We'll see if they put any time back onto it. But either way, right now, yeah, they're putting more time onto it. You can see them signaling it up there.
Made the change yet.
But that's the last timeout that the Knights have.
35.6 seconds still on the clock. Third down and 14 is what faces the Cougars. Another victory formation. I'm not so sure that's official victory formation. The quarterback's still in the shotgun formation with the back way behind him. The clock does go back to 42 seconds.
Well, it is, Lee. The play clock will.
There's a snap.
Yeah, they're going to get him to run around and.
Surprised it. Oh, yeah, close to penalty there.
Yeah.
That'll be the final play. Well, yeah, that will be the final play. And the Cougars. How about the Cougars? It's going to be 2-0 after victories against Northeast Lauderdale and West Lauderdale in district play, and definitely in the driver's seat of Region 5 4A.
Yeah, teams lining up, shaking hand. That is the game right now, Lee.
Knights and Cougars meeting at midfield. And first time since 2015 that the Cougars have defeated the West Lauderdale Knights. Football action. Congratulations to the Cougars. Knights got to get back to the drawing board.
There you go.
We'll get back to the post-game show in just a matter of moments. But again, Knights fall to the Newton County Cougars by a score of 22-16. Your post-game show is coming your way, being brought to you by Family Flea Market on B Street. We're back in just a few minutes to wrap things up here on Q101.
Show your West Lauderdale spirit while benefiting the school with a School Spirit debit card from the Citizens Bank. Go Knights! Use your West Lauderdale School Spirit debit card as a credit transaction, and for every signature purchase, the Citizens Bank will donate 5 cents to the school. Boost your school spirit with every purchase by using your West Lauderdale School Spirit debit card from the Citizens Bank. See Mike Shelby and the staff in Collinsville at the Citizens Bank, or call 601-626-7608. Member FDIC. Are you ready for some tailgating?
Down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Piggly Wiggly in Collinsville or Choctaw can do the cooking for all your tailgating this football season. Mouth-watering ribs and Boston butts are always available. If that's not enough, how about those delicious pulled pork sandwiches? For all your tailgating snacks, food, and drinks, shop with the great folks at Piggly Wiggly in Collinsville and Choctaw.
Down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Tired of wasting your Friday and Saturday nights at auctions? Skip the hassle and head to Parker's Wholesale, the biggest warehouse in Mississippi. Located in the Big Gold Building in Moselle, Parker's has it all. Tools, clothing, fishing gear, tactical equipment, artificial flowers, you name it. Open 7 days a week. Why wait for the weekend when you can shop and save every day? And before you leave, don't forget to enter our $500 drawing. Parker's Wholesale, where big deals meet small town service.
Fall is here and 2810 has all of your fall flavors. Start your morning the right way with 2810 Coffee in Collinsville. We're serving up warm biscuits, fresh bagels, scones, cinnamon rolls, and of course, the perfect cup of coffee or latte to kickstart your day. We open bright and early, 6 a.m. weekdays, 7 a.m. Saturdays, right off Highway 19. Today's specials on Facebook or call or text your order to 769-526-8200. 2810 Coffee, your perfect cup is waiting.
30 years ago, we asked one simple question. What do you need from a mower that you cannot get today? The answer was the Exmark change. The road, as they say, is history. Visit your learn more about the Laser Z.
Find out more at your local Exmark dealer. Available at Freeman Tractor, 1610 Highway 494 in Collinsville.
Are you ready to unlock incredible savings and discover unique items? Come on down to Family Flea Market on B Street today. Dive into a vibrant world where bargains await at every turn. Vintage clothes, handmade crafts, one-of-a-kind antiques, and so much more. Don't miss out on jaw-dropping discounts and delightful finds that tell a story. Bring your friends and family for a fun-filled community experience supporting local vendors at Family Flea Market on B Street. Open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
In life, some things just go together, like a burger and fries and home and auto insurance from State Farm. Combine and save. In Meridian, talk to State Farm agent Chris McDonald, order of the West Lauderdale Knight football team.
Go Knights!
Hello, this is Charles Frazier with Weidman's Restaurant. Historic downtown is booming, and we are proud to be a part of the economic revival. At Weidman's, you can enjoy Southern classics like shrimp and grits, fried green tomatoes, and black and redfish, or a boudin stuffed pork chop and USDA prime steak. We offer an extensive wine list and handcrafted cocktails, as well as a large selection of Mississippi beers. Come join us downtown at Mississippi's oldest restaurant. Weidman's, since 1870.
That's where we stand, 0-1. Reality is reality, and the Knights lost to the Newton County Cougars. They got to get back to the drawing board, which is there is still a chance at another district title. You've got to win out.
Yeah, you got to win out, and you have to hope that Newton County doesn't win either one of the next two district games they have,
because you can't tie.
Yeah,
as far as your record, but. Again, the Knights 0-1 in district play after a 22-16 loss against the Newton County Cougars, and the Cougars are sitting high right now because, like I said, League Central was out of district play tonight. Did we score for Northeast Lauderdale and Choctaw Central?
The one I had most recently was with about 6 minutes left to go in the game, or 8 minutes left to go in the game. Northeast Lauderdale 14, Choctaw Central 13.
All right, so both of those teams were in the not loser bracket, but they both lost last week, so they were 0-1 going into tonight's game. So there you go with that, up to date on the in-district games. Other games to note, I saw you had the scoreboard pulled up, the scoreboard being brought to you by East Mississippi Oral and Facial Surgery, as we're going to give you the end of the game stats.
Yeah, just some scores in the area. Kosciuszko hosting Greenville Weston out of Greenville, Mississippi. Neshoba Central hosting Greenville Weston. In the fourth quarter, Neshoba having a 13-point lead, 35-22. Kosciuszko and Louisville, big game happening in Louisville. And in the fourth quarter, Kosciuszko 24, Louisville 22. Meridian hosting Pearl for homecoming. And in the fourth quarter, Pearl has a 31-17 lead over Meridian Wildcats. Going final over at Lamar School, Hartfield Academy 42, Lamar 7. East Webster beating up on Philadelphia 29-6. Don't have an updated score for Clarkdale. The last time I had was the one we gave at the half, 18-7 Union over Clarkdale. But again, that was a second quarter score. Morton, who we played earlier this season, playing Mendenhall Tigers. Morton up 14-7 in the fourth quarter. And that's what I have on mine. Lee, do you have anything to add over there?
Nope, you had it. Thank you very much. Again, your scoreboard brought to you by East Mississippi Oral and Facial Surgery. Post-game show, however, being brought to you by Family Flea Market on B Street. And just end of the game thoughts. I mean, could not really get the offense going. You take away that first drive of the football game for the Knights, and just what do you believe happened? You were able to move the ball quite well on that first drive. Now I know things can get changed and you can make adjustments and stuff like that, but is it sometimes get in your head? You can't move the football?
No, I think sometimes you just, you get outmatched. And I'm not necessarily sure that's exactly what happened, but sometimes the ball just doesn't go your way. After that first drive, I mean, really the biggest plays we had in the game were penalty assisted. I mean, you had a couple of 15-yard face mask penalties, and you just combine that with our defense having a hard time getting off the field until they'd given up, big yardage plays deep into the red zone. It wasn't our night tonight.
All right, Mr. Andrew, let's hear about those final game statistics.
All right. West Lauderdale, they finished out the game with 160 rushing yardage and only 29 passing yards. They didn't do too well on that aspect, but Newton County, they come out swinging and running the ball, and they had 187 total and 149 passing. So, 170 passing, and so they did very, very well on that. But what kind of blew my mind was Travion Mosley. When you look at him compared to Juan Brown, there was only about a 12-yard difference between the two. Travion had finished the game with 132 rushing yardage, and Juan Brown had 144. So they're right neck and neck pretty much. But Braylon Dixon come in there with 23 yards carrying the ball, and for Newton County, Miles Mangum, I guess. Mangum. Had 55 on Newton County side. But passing the ball, you had Braylon Dixon, 29 yards compared to Tully King, 173 yards. So that's where they got their points from, and they did the ball. They did it very well.
All right, thank you very much, Andrew. We got to pick a player of the game, Weidman's player of the game, and you mentioned his name. You mentioned his yardage a few moments ago, 130 some odd yards, 132 yards. All right, Travion Mosley.
That's right.
All right, so Travion Mosley is our Weidman's player of the game for West Lauderdale. Congratulations to him. But I know we're not looking at single-person statistics. Got to look at that scoreboard and see we're back to 500 with a 22-16 loss against the Newton County Cougars. But give credit where credit's due. Newton County Cougars sitting high on the 5-4A region currently with a 2-0 record and a 4-3 overall record. So we're going to wrap things up and send things back to the station. Again, congratulations to the Newton County Cougars. Knights will be back in action next week as we head on the road to Leak Central. So if you can't make the game, we'd love to have you right here on Q101. For Clint on color, for Andrew on stats, I'm Lee. You guys have a great weekend. Enjoy your football action. We'll be back here next week.